is the Big O Show.
Yeah. Big O, we told you we ain't playing no games, man. It's just surely, probably Pablo, Culture, Lord Productions.
Good morning, South Florida.
This is the Big O Show.
You're tuned into the Big O Show.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Judge, you tuned in to the hottest sports radio show with Orlando, a.k.a. the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams, from the Dolphins to the Heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, Probably Pablo in the Big O Show.
Oh, on the radio, the top's where we gonna go. Miami, that's the way we roll. Locked on the morning show, Big O. No one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk live and direct. Because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise, listen live, it's the best of the best. He's got the fans, got the heat, he's the best of the best. Big O, the only talking sports with a style. Break it a morning, it's Big O-N. Thank you for tuning in, keeping it glued in. Stay tuned, because right here's where the rumors in. Same place, because right here some of them begin. Simply call and just state your opinion. Real talk, sports talks, the Big O Show. Yeah, you love it, yeah, you like it, call him and let him know.
Culture, Probably Pablo, now introducing the man of the hour, Big O, a.k.a. Orlando Gary. Yeah.
Alrighty, we are ready to rock and roll like we do every Thursday. We do it at 11 a.m., but we felt like going a little early today, so we are on, rocking and rolling. We'll be out here till about 2 o'clock having some fun. You know us, sometimes we go a little longer than 2 o'clock, so you never know. And so we'll be out here. Bill's by my side as always, Steve Ostrov and company. Ready to rock and roll out here at 1841 North State Road 7, baby. Come on out. Tell them that Big O sent you. They will take care of you. As always, I got my Camry XSE out here, of course. As always, I got my other Camry out here ready to cruise. So we are set, and we're out here right in the main lobby. So come on out. Right when you come in, you will see our ugly faces. And you can come on by and you can realize why we have faces for radio, but yet we're going to torture you here on YouTube and other places.
What's the deal on the diecast getting a paint job, bro?
No dice.
No dice.
No dice. Steve said that his people are too busy taking care of real cars. So, they he goes, oh, I can't take care of your silly request here. You know what I mean?
You know what I would strongly suggest?
What's that?
They have nail polish for almost every color. So match the nail polish to your car color, and then you do it yourself.
Oh, it's going to look terrible. It's going to look so bad. It'll look cheesy. You don't have painting skills. I'll just keep it like this because in the end, this was the second color. This was the color that I was originally going to get, was the red one. And then I fell in love with the one I got, which is like 3 different colors. And it's just absolutely amazing. And so, and the car is getting nicer as we add a little trinket here or there. Your
car feels good. Like every week is Christmas for your car.
Yes. Yes. Because everything with China involved, it takes forever for you to get little things here and there that you want to add to the car. And so it just kind of gets to be a little bit of a mission. But anyway, we got a lot of things to talk about, which is absolutely amazing. We got the good news. The Inter-Miami schedule is out, which is a beautiful thing, July 8th. And it's kind of strange, too, because, all right, July 8th, they open. They're the first game back, and they open at 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. on a Thursday. And then July 14th, 6 days later, they play again, but they play at 9 a.m. on a Tuesday. Hey, get ready. The basketball schedule is going to be like this. July 19th, they play on a Sunday against Philadelphia at 10:30. Neither one is a West Coast team, okay? It's Philly and Miami, and they're playing at 10:30 at night on a Sunday. Okay.
I guess with limited fields, you got to stack one game on top of the other.
Exactly.
To get those 8 games basically out of the way so you could get to the play-in games. I guess it's two days of play-in games.
Yeah.
And then what's it, the 17th? It's 15, 16 play-in, and then the 17th is the playoffs.
No. This is a whole no. I think the with MLS, it's all a tournament.
You said the NBA.
No. I mean MLS. This is MLS.
Okay.
Talk about MLS.
All right.
I'm saying get ready because the NBA will be like this.
To emulate. Oh yeah.
Yeah, because if you're in a hub, you don't have 15 courts. Okay, you don't have 15 courts where 30 teams can play.
Everybody play at the same time, bada bing.
And at any time you feel like it, you can at least, but now you only have a couple courts. You're going to have like Summer League. Like when you watch Summer League, right? You watch Summer League, it starts like at 1 PM and it ends like at 10 o'clock at night because you've got one game after another after another.
Here.
And that's kind of what's going to end up happening in the NBA. It's going to have that weird like schedule. Now,
college basketball tournaments, same thing.
Yes, but at least they have different locations around the country.
Of course, yes,
they're able to break it up. This is just one spot, and you remember that these teams, they're trying to squeeze all of this in a certain amount of time. So that's why you're going to have these weird and odd schedules. And so with soccer, it's. I'm looking at it, I'm going, okay, well, now, because I got to be, I'm a part of all these broadcasts. So I'm going to be doing a lot of the pre and post and all that. So I can already tell you on that Tuesday at 9 a.m., our show is going to be a later show that day. I can already tell you. Because obviously I won't be able to do our show until after soccer's done. You know what I mean? After I'm done with post game and everything. So it'll be one of those deals where, it's
What's that Thursday? Is it Thursday night?
It's a Tuesday.
Okay.
Tuesday.
Thursday night, 10:30?
No, Thursday night is the opener at 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. It's the first game, so that's why we got a great time and a slot and everything, 8 o'clock prime time.
I was just
thinking. That's the first game of the tournament. We're the opener.
Yes, or Nelson Orlando.
Yeah,
right.
So that's why we got that slot, and then the other two are completely
The only thing I was thinking about was for you, the turnaround, because, of course, Friday's our double dip.
Oh, yeah, I know, but I'm not worried about that. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just...
Yeah, but you don't do that much talking. I'm not doing the play-by-play in the color. You know what I mean? And so it's all good. I do enough, so it's all right. Don't worry about it. I'll be good. It'll be fun. Anyway,
I was just thinking a gauntlet for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's it's typical. It's typical. So what are you gonna do? But anyway. It is what it is, but at least we have now a feel for all of this. And I got to tell you, I still worry a lot about the MLS, and I worry about football because MLS will be safe while they're in the hub. Okay, if they're in the hub and they're controlling it during the tournament, that's fine. But then once they go out to their own cities, then that becomes a real challenge for the MLS teams, just like the NFL. And the NFL will be like that from the get-go. So, and can you imagine training camp where you've got 90 people and they're all, you can't control them. They get to see their families and friends and all that. And you don't know where their families and friends have been. Not that I mean anything bad by it, but I mean COVID purposes. Okay. Because we can all catch it at any point, anytime, no matter how careful we are. Okay. There are people that do some of the things, actually even more tighter than me, that they just leave their house to go get food and come back, and they've gotten the corona just like that. So, it's crazy, but it's not going to be an easy thing to be able to kind of control this whole situation. That's where I give the NBA some hope, Because
they're staying within the controlled environment the whole ride.
Right.
The MLS, I could see the tournament going off.
Yeah.
It's when they leave and get left to their own devices in their own neck of the woods. That's the issue.
Yeah, it's going to be a problem to control people because like college, I don't think college football is going to happen at all. I really don't. kids are extremely irresponsible. Okay? I mean, they put anything in their mouths. Okay? You don't have to be an infant either. I'm just saying. These kids they're gross. You know what I mean? Kids. Think about it when you were a kid. Everybody was drinking. Oh, hey, well, give me a sip. Boom, boom. And they don't care. They just continue onward. And so I don't think college football happens. The NFL, I give it a small percentage because grown-ass men, maybe. But the problem is you always have a few idiots that are irresponsible, and then they come back and then they spread it to the guys that are actually being responsible, and then you're screwed. So it's going to be really, really tough. Now, when you look at what's going on with the NBA, Derrick Jones Jr. from the Miami Heat just tested positive for coronavirus. The Kings, 4 different players from the Kings tested positive. Alex Len, Buddy Hield, Jabari Parker, and one more that they have not said who it is. Malcolm Brogdon from the Pacers tested positive for COVID-19. Now, with the NBA, see, they're about 2 weeks out to report to the bubble. This is actually not a bad thing for the NBA because they will now get a control of who's sick, test them, quarantine them, get them healthy, and then put them in the bubble and lock them in there. And so the NBA, once you're in the bubble and you're already clean, and if everybody else is clean in there, you should be able to control the environment. As long as you don't have any idiots leaving the bubble, which I don't think you can. I'm told in the MLS, you cannot, they're going to be so tight that the second you step out, you are done. Okay, you're quarantined, forget it. It's you cannot leave their bubble. And I would imagine that the NBA is going to be exactly the same, that it's going to be incredibly strict, and it's going to lock everybody down. And if you can do that for a certain amount of time, you're going to be able to control everything. And you're going to have a chance. Nothing's perfect because nothing's foolproof in life. Like I told you, there are stories of people that only leave their house to get food and back, and they've gotten the COVID. So it can happen to anybody, any way, shape, or form. You know what I'm saying? But we got to try to be as safe as possible. And it just seems like the NBA is the one league that if you are going to maintain that bubble atmosphere, just like hockey, if hockey's going to maintain 2 bubbles, then they're all right. They've got a shot. But if you're going to give people access to the world, that's where it becomes a real challenge right now. You know what I mean? And so far, we haven't had the athlete that catches it, and then they struggle with it, and it's hard to get away, or they've had a lingering effect. We haven't heard that yet. And that's the scary part, because there are people that have had lingering effects. And let me tell you something. That's going to be the next stage that scares the crap out of athletes. If somebody gets something that lingers, that is going to set it off for a bunch of athletes, and they're going to say, I'm not playing, dude. No. And if they have some kind of free agency looming, or if you're football where the money isn't always guaranteed, baseball, basketball, it's all guaranteed. So you got to pay. You got to pay the men his money, no matter what. So those guys can, although it might be a risk because you might be finishing a long-term contract of a year or 2 left or 3, but yet you're 25 or 26 or 27, let's say. You still have, whether that year 2 or 3 is up, you're going to be able to enjoy one more contract. Well, not if you have something lingering. So then do you take the chance and play this year, or do you wait for the vaccine? These are the things that has not happened yet in the athletic world. And it's happened to regular people. If it happens to an athlete, it will be something that will then further actually set this back a little bit more. But you're watching it with basketball, all these guys testing positive. It's bad, but it's also not that bad because they're able to then get them healthy, get them in the bubble, and then now you're in supposedly a safe environment. It'll be interesting, man. And the thing that I was thinking about this, the NFL put out this thing that, and I agree with them on this, okay? Because look, we've got to get back to, life. We have no choice. We have to. What I keep saying is we just have to be safe about it, and people aren't necessarily safe all the time. Well, in this case, I like that the NFL is going to do it this way because some states may not be affected by COVID like other states. And so if other states are being more responsible and they can, allow fans, then you go for it. And I think you do it the way NASCAR did it this past week, where they put 5,000 in a big-ass place, 175,000 people, right? I think it was the number, right? 175, if I'm correct?
Yes.
On this weekend?
Full board.
Talladega?
Full population.
Okay, so 5,000 and 175,000 facility is nothing. And if you watch the race, they were pretty spread out. The only people that were together are the people that came together. You know what I mean? And so that's fine. You can do that. And I think you can eventually start to do those kind of things if it allows it. Okay? And I was thinking about this. It's a smart move to let the cities and the states control it because they're going to know what's going on locally and, and hopefully they do the right things because there's some stuff we're going to talk about that isn't right, down the line. The other twisted part about this story, and here's where I get geeky and I get a little fan in me. Will others, and they won't because we are the minority. Okay, sports fans are the minority. It's not the majority of the country. It's a minority of the country. Not everybody watches sports. Not everybody follows sports. Not everybody cares about sports. You do, I do, because that's our thing. That's one of our hobbies. And so I wonder, and I doubt it, all right? I'm already telling you this, that I doubt it. Could cities get motivated to be responsible so they can try to have football? There's so much love. That's the one sport in this country that there is crazy love for it. College and the NFL. College, you can't control the kids, so that's going to be different. The NFL has got a shot because maybe most of the professionals, there's always idiots, but most of them will try to protect themselves. They have families, all that kind of stuff. They have a lot of other reasons why to be responsible. But I'm wondering, the cities that do have NFL teams, is there any chance they could be influenced by that and say, hey, man, we gotta do things right so we can have football, we can have some entertainment. And going on right now, there isn't a lot of entertainment. You can't watch any new TV shows. If you love your soap operas, Spanish or English, you're not seeing any new ones either. You're not seeing any new concerts. You're not seeing anything new. There's nothing new going on. They can't produce a damn thing. So if there is sports, and that's a few things that you can watch, I wonder if people will be galvanized by that. I doubt it, but I was thinking about that if there was any way that towns could get motivated about, hey, man, let's bring our numbers down. Let's be responsible so we can have football, have some entertainment. And that's the other thing that I don't understand about all of this is the people that want to fight it and don't want to wear masks and, they're around people and they're going to places where other people are at and all that. And you see the life you're living now, that how it's changed. Doesn't it motivate you to want to try to do the right things so that way we can get away from this and go back to, being normal again?
Unfortunately, those are the same people that have their mind made up. They have their thought process. You can't tell them nothing. And, this is their train of thought and this is what they're going to run with.
Yeah.
And I mean, galvanizing and cities getting together. How much can you get together? We got to keep social distancing. We can't have,
Right.
Galvanizing while you're at home. Let's all get together on our own individual couches at home and cheer on the team. Right?
Can you imagine a team in the NFL that is having, their city's having all kinds of COVID issues, so they won't have any fans. So they said, well, screw it, man. We can't have any fans. Let's move our team to North Dakota where there's, few people there. Maybe we can actually open the gates there and we can still show our team off on TV like everybody else. Our local team can't go. So we'll move to North Dakota.
Just to get something at the gate as opposed to getting nothing.
Exactly.
You know what? The NFL's all about money and doing what
I doubt anybody would do that. I doubt anybody would do that.
The logistical stuff you would have to do to set this up.
Yeah. But listen, you're still getting the TV money whether you're at your city or in North Dakota, so that doesn't change.
You know what? That would show too much greed. Like, how much money are you going to earn opening up the gates and getting 5 or 10? Like, do you really need that? $250,000, $500,000.
Some team moves to Wyoming. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, we'll move to a city that doesn't have that issue right now, and at least we can inherit that city for this time being, and they'll support us. And you know that
the Miami, Montana Dolphins.
Problem is that that the hot spot you're coming from, people will travel to go over to see your team, and they'll bring the COVID with them.
Oh, the team is traveling, and COVID is traveling as they all show up.
That is crazy, man. It wouldn't happen. Okay. One, I don't think people will be motivated in any city to say, oh, we got to be real responsible so we can keep football, going. Doubt they'll do that. And I doubt they would move. But if I was just thinking about it, would be, can you imagine a team say, hey, the Chargers, they're in a hot spot. They're a tenant.
They're the most flexible. They're the most, hey, we could go anywhere.
What do the Chargers have to lose to move
know what?
In fact, the Chargers have everything to gain going to Wyoming or North Dakota to hold their games.
Oh, the Chargers decide to go to Europe because the way Corona's going down. We're going to be the safest team. Y'all
there
come.
You go.
How about that?
They'll have the best crowd. They'll have the only crowd.
Yeah.
Actually, if the Chargers actually want to get a home field advantage, move. There you go. For the time being, you move. Now, I know they signed a lease and all that, so I'm only having fun with all of this, okay? Relax. Take it easy. I know none of this is reality. I know no city's going to say, hey, let's behave so we can have football. They don't behave anywhere. I mean, like I said, you see the limitations you have in life, and yet you're not behaving. It's like crazy. The people want to fight you, and I don't want to wear a mask. And it's like, okay, you understand you're going to keep us in this mode even longer, right? But you can't explain that to them.
No, they can't put those pieces together and connect those dots and come to that conclusion. It's me, selfish, self-serving.
Marcos Valdez is in the house. Super Boom Shack is in. DraftKings FanDuel. John Santos. They already canceled the Hall of Fame game. Yep. We'll talk about that. DraftKings FanDuel. GPP is in. Matthew Walker. Julius 305. Omar Lopez, 90 miles from Cuba. Troy Ortiz, Kellen Flanders. And Kellen says, good morning, Big O. Sports, music, nothing better, baby. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. It's and we got plenty of stuff, man, to talk about today here on the program, which is really, really cool, man. So looking forward to I'm amazed. I really am. I'm always amazed that I'm somehow able to find a whole bunch of things to talk about here on the show. Remember, we're out here at Toyota of Hollywood. So if you want to come on out and see Steve Ostrov, who's standing right there, baby, and Herbie Lopez, all the phenomenal people out here, Joel Rubio, Gary Thompson. In fact, I just saw Gary right now come by. Rick, Eddie, Asterisk Smith, all the guys out here, and the ladies too. If you want to come on out here, make sure you tell them Big O sent you. Trust me, they will take care of you whether you're buying or leasing a vehicle here at Toyota of Hollywood. It's easy to get to too, right off of Hollywood Boulevard and the Turnpike, and you go a little east, and then you come up on 441, a couple blocks south of that big, beautiful guitar. So it's an awesome thing. Now, did you notice that the NFL, since fans aren't going to be in the stands, they're going to allow teams to sell advertising in the lower bowl of the stadium. So they are going to have all kinds of, which is, hey, listen, they got to make up their money. And I think
no parking, no hot dogs, no beer. I guess you got to figure out a way.
You need to slow down there. You need to slow down there.
What have they got going on?
You need to slow down there.
Are they going to pull a Dade County?
You need to slow down there. All right, I got something for you. So the NFL, okay, because Bill's getting ahead of me here. The NFL is allowing you to now sell the bottom bowl, okay? And I think this is smart, obviously, because everybody in the world's taking financial hits, right? And we're all trying to adjust to the new norm right now. Every way we do business, every way we do our lives, we have to adjust to the new norm. Correct? Got it? Okay. So I started to think about this. The influence of soccer in America is amazing. It's growing every single minute. Think about this. So the NFL, the second they told me, oh, you can advertise around, what's soccer been doing forever? Since they don't have commercial breaks, they have all those boards. They have things that slide under in the video. They've got mentions. They've got to do it all throughout the broadcast because they don't have real commercial breaks. So now football is going to look like football because they're going to have the advertising that you've never seen before in a football game. It's always during a break that you see the advertising. Now you're actually going to watch the billboards, rotating billboards, all that kind of stuff rotating around the field. It's not going to be exactly like a soccer field because it can't, because obviously football has a lot of action that goes out of bounds and you can't do it, but it'll be on the stands and they'll adjust the camera angles to make sure that they're getting the advertising, because obviously they'll talk to the TV companies and they'll say, okay, we need to shoot the game this way so we can get our advertisers in there. And they're going to go, oh, yeah, no problem. We need you to get your advertisers so you can pay us. You know what I mean? So it's all that stuff. So I get what's going on with all of that. And so I started to think about this, the influences of soccer in pro sports. We just added a third element from it. Do you know what the other two elements are that we've added from soccer? One is flopping, okay? Because obviously soccer created flopping. They are the grandfathers of flopping. And thanks to patient zero, okay, who used to smoke a lot of cigarettes with a beard, and he played for the Sacramento Kings for a long time, Vlade Divac, and now he's in the front office. Vlade Divac is patient zero when it came to flopping. So he came from the European world where he grew up with soccer and flopping. He brought it to basketball. Now flopping is all over basketball. It's in football. It's in different places. Now flopping is a thing. So now we got the outside advertising. We got flopping. Can you come up with the third influence from soccer into American sports? Come on, Bill. Third influence from soccer into American sports. Come on.
I'm drawing a blank, man.
That's right. That's why I'm the talk show host. Shootouts, hockey. Shootouts been going on in soccer. So hockey added shootouts. Where did they get the shootout idea from? From soccer, of course, because they've been doing shootouts to settle their games in different leagues for many years now. And then hockey added the shootout several years ago. So it's funny how the game that some Americans to their core hated, some people still hate, and you watch now the influences of the sport going on now, and there are different ones going on, and little do you know, now we've added the advertising, like, hey, soccer does it, let's steal that idea. So soccer influencing pro sports now with all of this. How do you like that? Trying to think of something else?
No, look, that little border thing that they have, that it's kind of like the border in the middle between the first level and the second level, and they put it down on the field, and you could literally see it.
Right.
And you could see that baseball,
but they'll be giant. They won't be that thin.
Back in the day,
they'll be big now.
When they were rolling, you could see the behind home plate. Baseball stole that, the rollers back in the day. But now, obviously, with digital and everything, they run it and you see it. And I mean,
but these football ones will be. These football ones are going to be bigger.
Oh yeah,
you know why?
Be up in the stands
because they're going to want to hide the stands.
Yes, right.
So they're going to want to try to create some kind of
I could see, you know what, exactly what you were talking about. I could see cameras set up, special angles, and when they're on the field, they're at the 20, 30. You know what?
When the field goal's being kicked, there's going to be something back there. They have to, bro.
I could see commercials being in the middle of the game. That first down and the moving of the chains was sponsored by blah blah.
Right. Yeah.
All that.
They're gonna try to get crafty to slip in everything and anything, and I don't blame them.
All their lost revenue, they are going to try in every way to recoup that loss.
Exactly.
Exactly. And their attitude, and you know what? It's kind of like a plane or a cruise boat taking off. Look, this thing leaves and goes, whatever, and the overhead's this much. We might as well try to earn as much as we can. That's why they try to fill every seat and this and that. And listen, you're going to have the game. You're going to have the stadium cost secure. You're going to have all that overhead. Wherever you can squeeze a dime out and make it, more power to you, man.
Of course. They have to, man.
Yeah.
They have to.
You have to. Yeah.
They have no choice. And then the other thing, okay, since you got ahead of me a little bit here, you didn't realize it, obviously. The next thing that the NFL teams now are thinking about is selling the outside. So you can't have fans in the stadium, but you have like what Hard Rock's doing now. They have that giant screen outside. So they were selling the movies, and they had special couches that were separated from each other, and they sold it because you had the drive-in and then you had the outside. So they had two different levels that they were selling.
Double Maya.
So they're thinking now that because they have the grounds, they can have TVs and they can allow a certain amount of people in to tailgate, watch the game, and cheer. And I'm thinking about this, and they're going to be able to sell concessions. They're going to be able to sell beer. They're going to be able to sell food. All of that because people will be there all day watching the games.
All those rickshaws they had that run people can now run food and drinks to people.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
And so Hard Rock could do that, and they could actually allow, 15,000 people in the entire property and split it up and have different big screens all over. So you have multiple. And here's the other thing that I was thinking about. It's not quite the same, ladies and gentlemen, but think about this. Okay, so you don't watch the game at home, but you go with your family and you go barbecue. You got the big screen. The next car of people is 15 feet away. You know what I mean? 15 feet away, 15 feet away, 15 feet away. So you've got your own space. You guys get to cheer and high five and talk and all that and stay in your spot, watch the game, cheer on your team. And you know what? The football team, while they're, at least for home games, when they're there, the people on the outside cheering, at least they'll be able to feel the cheering. And it won't be as loud because you're not inside the stadium right on their faces and cheering. But the fact that you do score a touchdown, it's being filmed, you're on live TV, and then you hear your fans on the periphery yelling. That kind of picks you up a little bit.
Connect because a lot of players have said, not playing with that gives us that extra little juice, gives us that oomph to go.
That connection, I think, it's not perfect because, again, ladies and gentlemen, nothing we're doing in life is perfect right now. Okay? We had our lives altered a few months ago. Now we have to adjust a little bit until we can get back to normal again.
We're trying to adapt and create the best scenario that we can.
Right. And so, hey, if they do play, is playing FSU inside that stadium. You get to hang out outside with a couple of friends of yours, family members. You have a little cookout. You have your beers. You watch the game off the big giant screen at the stadium. You're not inside, but you still get a feel. It's still a football Saturday, a football Sunday, and you still at least have some semblance of normalcy because you're at a stadium. Your team is literally playing inside. You are watching it. It is a football Saturday and Sunday. You're not exactly connected like normal, but there's still something there. And I find that to be pretty cool. Hey, and you know what? When the team is done and they shower, maybe they do like a little victory parade drive around the stadium and fans can cheer them on. And fans can say, hey, all right, we won. We kicked the Jets' ass. We kicked Patriots. And that kind of stuff. That would be pretty cool. That wouldn't be a bad thing.
You have a victory parade.
Yeah, just
lot.
As they're leaving, it's one of those, as they're leaving, fans hang around, they cheer on their team, boom, they leave, and that's it. No high fives, no connections in that sense. Let's not get anybody sick, none of that stuff, but let's, maybe, look, again, we're not in a norm, man. You know what I mean? I tell you this all the time, dude. We've been blessed that we've been able to work through a pandemic. There's a lot of people that aren't working. They're making no money whatsoever. You know what I mean? And so we're blessed. And if you can at least be in the stadium, outside the stadium,
get some semblance of normal.
Be blessed, man. When I get home and I'm able to watch some live concerts or music that people are playing from their homes or studios, I feel blessed. You know what I mean? So it's all right. If I'm stuck home and I'm quarantined, I'm with my wife, I'm with my daughter, I'm with my 4 dogs. I'm blessed, bro. I mean, we can't look. You can't sit in life and complain about everything. Okay, you got to try to make it the best of what it is. And Tom Garfinkel's already done that with the drive-in and all that. I would not be surprised that if they get to the point that they can sell the outside, I think that would be fantastic. And maybe you have a lottery system that you can only allow 1,000 fans in or 5,000 fans in, and then, it's a little bit of a two-tier type of thing. Who knows?
You'd have to put X amount of people in an area, and this group is in this area. Because you know as well as I do. I see the scenario. People having some drinks, people getting loose, people doing the irresponsible and go wandering, and then there you are. So you'll have to have it. You get your area. This is your area.
George says, Big O, won't there be a lag between parking lot video and the play in the stadium? In other words, will the crowd be cheering well when the play happens? It could, George, that might happen. Or Tom Garfinkel's pretty smart, and what they'll do is they'll grab the live feed from the stadium and put it outside. And then that way you're right on live time. They could do that if they want. Now, if they feed you like they do in the stadium normally, the signal from the TV station, that it's coming back from the satellite, then yes, you are correct. Then there might be a delay. But if they can somehow give you the live feed that they're sending to the satellite, which I think is possible, okay? I'm not Mr. Technicality here, but I've been in the business long enough that maybe I think that's possible, that you can actually send that signal directly right around your stadium, because you're controlling it. You know what I mean? So there's a possibility that you could be live the second it's happening. You know what I mean?
You know what I could see,
Yeah.
Because
but again, you know what, George? Even if it's a couple seconds, again, my brother, we have to adjust, and we at least enjoy the moment. You know what I mean? I got to tell you something. I don't mind being home watching the games, but if they do that, I wouldn't mind doing it once during the season just to experience it, see how it is and all that. That'd be pretty cool. I don't think it would be a bad thing. Let me give Richard McLean, because he's given us some love on the Super Chat. Thank you, Richard. Appreciate you, my man.
What's going on in there?
Super Chat.
Excuse me a sec. What are you babbling about?
Super Chat.
If he
Super Chat.
will all
Super Chat.
it'll be anarchy. It's out of my hands.
Thank you, Richard. Appreciate you, my brother, giving us a little love on the Super Chat. Tremolio says, I'm hearing that the NFL, to create extra revenue, will have male and female nude cheerleaders during the game, but through pay-per-view. I subscribed. There you go. That makes a lot of sense.
You know what I could see?
I can see that.
Everybody hanging around the stadium. We beat the Jets. And here is the Randy Moss mooning exchange, i.e. Minnesota, Green Bay, and the visiting team moons the fans, and the fans moon back the visiting team leaving the stadium.
You all can moon, okay? You all can moon. Just don't fart because, there's possibility you can spread COVID through farting.
Oh, that's right.
So be careful there. Big O, I'm blessed to have a roof over my head with electricity, food in the fridge. I most always remember this. That's right, Richard. That's the way you got to look at it, man. That's the way you got to look at it. George says, "I hear you, Big O. I agree. We take what we can get and be happy." Exactly.
Yeah, our standards have got to be brought down to a level that is realistic right now.
It's about making the best of of whatever situation you're in right now. That's really what it's all about, and there's nothing wrong with that, man. I think that's something that you should do in life, period. You know what I mean? Whether you're at work, whether you're at home, whether you're in a sporting event, whatever you're dealing with, you got to try to make the best of it. You know what I mean? Sitting and complaining all the time, all you're doing is you're just wasting your time, bro. Just wasting your time. You got to find a way to make it better, find a way to overcome. And these are things that have developed now that I think it's kind of interesting. And look, yesterday I was talking about it. The concert that the Revivalists are doing at that place in California. I think that's freaking awesome, dude. Oh no, I'm sorry. The Revivalists are doing it in New Orleans, the drive-in. It's Kenny Loggins that's doing the one in California. And by the way, thank you to Kenny Loggins, a new follower on the Twitter. So that was nice. Kenny Loggins doing that, and that's
you know who it is?
That's adjusting to what's going on now. That, hey, those of us that love music, you might be able to go to a drive-in.
It's Third Eye Blind in California that's doing we heard about it first, right? In California, Third Eye Blind doing the drive-in thing.
Doing a drive-in thing,
in
yes.
July, right?
Yes, in July.
That was last week.
Right, and then the Revivalists are doing it now in New Orleans, and then Kenny Loggins is doing one where he's at a theater. Nobody will be there, but it'll all be sold $15 a ticket so you can watch the entire performance. You know what I mean? And the proceeds go to help out these venues. But that's kind of the way we have to adjust right now. And hey, I would love to be in the front cheering and watching a concert and having some fun, but if I have to go to a drive-in and I can sit on the hood or whatever, or put out a lawn chair and watch it from a little bit of a distance, then, hey, man, I'll take it. I'll adjust. And if I can go to Hard Rock Stadium, which, by the way, Hard Rock Stadium is super comfortable. So it's actually a pretty cool place now. Outside, I'm saying. We know inside it's badass, but, I mean, Garfinkel and company have made that place gorgeous on the outside. So you go out there to go hang out, you can have a good time and watch the game. Hey, man, the new norm, adjust a little bit. Big O, did you read the article in the New York Daily News yesterday bashing Adam Gase? I love it. His presence is driving away the organization's best players. Well, you know what? Let's do this. Let me take a quick break because I think I've already done there you go. You got your 45 minutes, right? Didn't I do 45 minutes? Didn't we start 10 minutes early?
I need at least 60 seconds more. Give me 60 seconds, 55 seconds, 54 seconds. Come on, bro. You can do this.
By the way, yesterday we were at VSS West Pines, and thanks to Jose and all the great people out there, and thanks to the listeners that came by. Every week we get our folks coming on by, and that is so kind, and hopefully some of you will come by today here at Toyota of Hollywood. But VSS West Pines, visit our friends at 12397 Pembroke Road for all of your CBD needs. If you're dealing with pain, if you're dealing with anxiety, if you're dealing with stress, and that is all possible in today's world for you, somebody in your family, for your animals, okay, dogs or cats, they've got CBD products for the animals too, and they've got everything else from hookahs, you name it, from what's it called, e-juice vaporizers. They've got the disposables, which they've got them in 2-packs also, dry herb vaporizers, incense, air fresheners, all kinds of stuff. I'm telling you, you're going to love that place. Lunch boxes of David Bowie, and I'm telling you, it's where Spencer's and Barefoot Mailman meet CBD. So go see Jose and all the great people out there at VSSWestPines.com. Call them, 954-613-3367. They've got drive-up service too, man, curbside service. So you can pay for it online, pay for it on the phone, and you can pick it up if you don't want to go inside. But if you do go inside, wear your mask at VSSWestPines.com.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021. At Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
We back.
As you could see from me getting out in front of one of Orlando's topics and him trying to sip water up and down the mic. This is not rehearsed. This is a wing it, get it going, get it started, and we just wing it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's the way we do it.
I
almost had the mic on you when you were go, drinking water.
Yes. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Big O, after all this is done, MLB might be the only show in town because they don't have the physical contact that the other sports have. Not true, Mike, because they're not in a bubble. So if you're not in a bubble and you're going to be playing in city to city and traveling, you have to then control all the players. And one more thing, rosters are going to be bigger. So they're going to have more people around. It will be a challenge. I understand what you're saying because it's such an individual sport, and now there is exchange on the ball. You know, now are we going to have any licking? Are we going to have any spitting?
I was just going to say the spitting factor.
Are we going to have it? I mean, what are we going to do? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I mean, and they're all going to so they're going to stop spitting seeds. They're going to stop spitting in baseball, which it's something that's all they do half the time is that they're spitting. And I know that they're going to try to limit all of this stuff. I disagree with you on that. I understand the non-contact part, but any of these sports that are going to allow their players to go home and actually hang out with other people and then go back to a locker room with everybody else, the risks are enormous. Okay? Did you see what happened to the Orlando soccer team? They went to a bar for a get-together, and like 14 out of the 20 players or something ended up getting COVID because they all hung out without a mask. And that's the problem, that unless you can actually do that hub city stuff where you can keep them all in one hotel and they can't go out anywhere and they're just going from the hotel to the practice to the games and that's it. That's all they do. And I'm sure they're going to have their own little lounges and cities and they're going to be able to interact with each other, but that's it. That's all they're going to be able to do. And I think the NBA is limiting the amount of family that you can have with you there, and whoever's there with you, they're locked in. They can't leave either. So I disagree with you that if you have access to the world and the world has access to you, then that's really, really dangerous. Okay? And when you have players that are single too, wow. You know, maybe there's a chance the more married ones are a little bit more calm and they'll go home, and maybe there's a chance, like, if put it this way, if I was a baseball player, I wouldn't bring COVID to the locker room. You know, even if I went home. You know why? My wife's the kind of person that would like say, all right, I know what you got to do, so I got to support you. So we're going to have this part of the house for you. And you know, and she would like try to design it where we don't mess with you that much so you can stay healthy and go do your job. And we'll, you know, all that stuff. None of the selfish stuff that, oh my God, I can't be all over you for 3 months and this and that. And, you know, it's the end of the world. And it's like, no, dude, you know, after 3 months, we'll be together again and we'll do the normal things, you know, and that kind of stuff. And so you'll hang out with all the people you normally hang out with and all that. But during that time, you would pace yourself a little bit more. You would not be the same social person that you normally are with your friends and family members. You're not going to be hanging out all with all of them and hugging all of them and shaking hands with all of them and all that stuff. No. You know what I mean? So maybe some married guys might have that really strong and smart support, you know, but the single guys, those single guys, man, they want to party, bro. And so they're going to want to go clubbing if there's any clubs. If not, they're going to find some houses that are going to have parties and, you know, all that kind of stuff that's going on. I think it's going to be really hard for MLS once they leave the bubble, definitely for the NFL, at all times. Training camp, oh my Lord. 90 players? Ugh, that's going to be tough. All of that is going to be really, really tough if they have access to the outside. Just heard a top infectious disease doctor at the Cleveland Clinic, and wearing masks do absolutely no good. I would actually completely disagree with that person. Common sense tells you if there's some spittle in the air and you have a mask, some of it is going to get blocked. Maybe some gets through. If you have no mask, nothing gets blocked. So John, out of common sense, I would tell you that doctor at the Cleveland Clinic's a dumbass. Okay? Because just common sense tells you if somebody spews spit and you have at least some protection, something's going to get blocked. Something has to get blocked. So I don't know what that doctor's talking about. Hey, listen, man, don't wear a mask. That's your choice. Go get sick. Go for it. It's to me that when somebody tells you that the masks don't work, that's ridiculous. If the masks don't work, why do you think the professionals want them? Why do you think nurses and doctors are complaining about it when they didn't have it? Oh, we don't have our PPE, we can't get protected. So if it doesn't work, why do they want them? You tell me. And that's the question I want to know. If the nurses, if the doctors and the nurses want them, then that tells you all you need to know. So, John, that guy from the Cleveland Clinic's a moron. Big O, can you name any young prospects on the Marlins who have a chance at stardom? Cabrera or the kid playing for Milwaukee now, do they the Blade kid is supposedly going to be the bomb. But I don't know, man. You know what I mean? But Blade is the kid that supposedly has got the goods. Okay? Let's see. John says, false sense of security they're saying. John, they can say whatever they want, bro. Common sense. That's all, man. Common sense. That's all you need, dude. Common sense. Just think about it. Bunch of spit coming your way. You got a mask and you got no mask. You tell me. That's all you need to know. And if nurses and doctors all want it, that's all you need to know, bro. That's all. So whatever that guy, listen, they come up with something new every other day. And and by the way, John, I saw a German report that says that masks do protect. Whatever. The way we're handling it in this country, I don't know, bro. Why are we going to take anybody's word in this country? It's not like they've been handling it the right way here. That's for damn sure. All right, 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. To me, when I hear I don't want to wear a mask, when I hear masks don't protect, I hear I'm politicizing this. That's what I hear. Basically, that's what it comes to me. You're politicizing common sense. Because it's just ridiculous to think that if you have a shield, some spit's not going to get blocked out. But if you have none, you have the same chances? Come on, man. Just doesn't make any sense whatsoever, John. All right, 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Adam Gase is at it again. We're getting more levels to this story now with Manish Mehta, who's always digging up this dirt here on the Jets, and especially Adam Gase. And he was completely on board with Adam Gase, okay? I tried to warn him, and he's the last time I had him on, he was like, you're so far you're right about this guy, and eventually it's going to happen because we saw it here for a few years. We saw what he is. So apparently the relationship between Jamal Adams and Adam Gase is worse than ever now. It's a deteriorating relationship, according to Manish Mehta of the New York Daily News. He has learned that the major factor why Adams felt uncomfortable with his long-term future with the team and requested a trade, well, Adams sought permission to seek a trade after no movement towards a contract was made. Adams' discontent runs deeper than simply finances. The Jets' best player does not want to play for Adam Gase anymore for many reasons. The prevailing sentiment in the Jets locker room is clear. Players don't respect Gase, who has rubbed them the wrong way with his inability to lead and lack of support. Okay? He's also drawn the irony of a litany of players during his tenure with the Miami Dolphins, Manish Mehta wrote, which again, it is amazing to me how you see what a screw-up he is here and how he did everything pretty much wrong after that first season. That first season was kind of luck almost, and it kind of shows you also how this league is, and maybe that's why Miami won 5 games, because the league is set for you to go to 500. But even if you tear it down to the bone the way Miami did, if you can coach them up, you'll have a shot at winning some games. And sure enough, Flores was able to coach him up. This guy, and it shows you that Flores connected with his players through adversity, through tons of changes in the offseason, training camp, even in the first week of the season. And yet he found a way to reach those players and get the max out of them, where this guy can't connect with players, whether it's a Le'Veon Bell that you signed to a long-term contract and immediately you started off with a terrible relationship because you don't want him there. Or Osmelli, your offensive lineman who needed surgery, and you call him a liar that he doesn't need surgery. And now you've got Jamal Adams, who is a badass safety, is a difference-making type player on your team. And this guy wants no part of what you're doing. And it's, remember, when the Dolphins hired Tannenbaum, I did the same thing. I ripped the Dolphins to shreds. And then I got people. The problem is that some of you out there, you become you're fans, right? And you can't be objective. Like my boy Crowder was one of them. Crowder is, former player, but he has fan in him too. You know what I mean? Joe Rose has that too sometimes. Some of these guys that played for the team, they have a problem being completely objective. You know what I mean? And so when Tannenbaum was hired, it was, I remember Channing was trying to play devil's advocate and trying to make a case for, maybe things were different over there. Just like what they say about Adam Gase here. Well, let's hire him there in New York. Well, maybe things were different here because here they don't know what to do. No. You're just part of the problem, not part of the solution. You had 3 years. Tannenbaum had how many years at the Jets? It's like you saw all the screw-ups, and yet you hire them. And then when you hire them, right, you get the group of fans that try to justify the move and not just go off of what happened. And I got it from all kinds of fans. Listeners, guys like Crowder. Oh, no, hey, Tannenbaum had those 2 years with the AFC Championship game. It's like, that doesn't mean anything, dude. Go look at people that have a track record of constant success. Those are the people you want to associate yourself with. You don't want the person that had sporadic success. And sure enough, what happened? It was crap. And Adam Gase was crap here. And what did you expect him to be in New York? And again, my boy Manish, who's a great guy, he tried to justify the move. Because, the change of scenery will... No, dude, more often than not, it's not going to happen. Yeah, once in a blue moon, somebody's in a bad position and they go somewhere else and they become the guy, and that's fine. But more often than not, when you're bad somewhere, you're going to be bad somewhere else. That's just the way it is. And it's hilarious to me how we're watching everything go on with Adam. And let me tell you, it sucks. Because you don't want it to be this bad this quickly, because then you know he's not going to survive after this year and they're going to get rid of him. And as a Dolphin fan, I got to admit, I want Adam Gase there in New York for at least 10 or 20 years. I just want to laugh that they'd be stupid enough to keep him around like what we did with Philbin or what we did with Ryan Tannehill or whatever. That we keep people around that don't deserve to be around. Mike Tannenbaum kept him around way too long. They shouldn't have hired him, and then they kept him around too long. Tony Sperano shouldn't have hired him, kept him around too long. It's just like an MO. The only time we made a decision, the only time they made a bad decision and corrected it quickly was Cam Cameron. Everybody else stuck around too long. Wanstead stuck around too long. You helped. You kept him around long enough to kill the defense off. It's been one of those deals. And the same thing here. Adam Gase is doing everything he did in New York, he did here, because that's who his dysfunctional self is. He cannot. It's amazing to me how you don't communicate and connect with your best players. You would figure the second you sign in New York, Jamal Adams would be one of your best friends on the team. Right? You'd figure you'd gravitate to the people that are going to get you over the top. And Jamal Adams would be one of those guys that I would want on my team. And please don't start Dolphin fans. They're not going to trade him inside the division, okay? It's just not going to happen. Stop with that stupidity. Don't even bring it up. I don't know. Did any of you already bring it up on the chat board already? Let's see. What do we have here? Bad at the bar, bad in bed. If not for money, women would take the hint at the bar. I don't know what that means. Didn't Omar Kelly say he eventually will be a good head coach in this league? He will learn from his mistakes that he had here. I'm not sure, Alex. I don't know if Omar was drinking the Kool-Aid still from Adam Gase. I don't know. I don't remember exactly how he felt about him going to New York. Pat in Asheville says, my guess is the NFL will decrease the number of players at camp to closer to regular season numbers and modify practice to limit reps. They can't, Pat, because injuries happen. So you have to have more players. They're expanding. They're going from 53 to 55. They went from 10 to 12 on the practice squad, and now they're going to go to 15, I think, or 16. I forgot what it was. 16, right?
16 is correct,
16.
sir.
16 they're going. So no, Pat, they're not. They're actually going to have a lot more players because football has injuries, and they have to have that. You know that. I know that. Your regular roster is never enough players for a season. You guys know you have to add people from the practice squad, and then you have to go find people that were released or you steal it from somebody else's practice squad because you're going to have injuries. You're going to end up placing 7, 8, 10, 12, 14 players on the IR by the end of the season. And you've got to replace all those. And then you've got other guys that might be injured for amounts of time. 2 weeks, 5 weeks, 10 weeks. Got to replace those. And then the other guys that are just, you find out, not good enough. They made the cut. They made your 55 this year. But then you realize a couple weeks in, a month later, he's not good enough. We can go get somebody else. So, no, Pat, there's so many things. And then you're going to have COVID. I forgot about COVID. And now you're going to have COVID too. So you're going to have players miss left and right. It's weird, Pat. It's actually the opposite of what you're saying. It's the worst case scenario. You're right. You would, in a perfect world, you'd like to limit it so it's less people, less risk, all of that. But you can't because it's football. It's physical. And people get injured. People wear out. People retire. People will get COVID. It's bad, man. And so the worst thing is that you have to have more people. That's the NFL. How crazy is that? Yeah. And baseball is actually expanding their rosters too. So they're not going to have only 25 guys in the clubhouse. They're going to have more than that. They have to. They have no choice. Yeah. Now, I don't know how they're going to handle with their practice squad because they've got to have a scout team. So I don't know how they're all going to do all this because you can't really keep the scout team away because they got to practice against the starters and get them ready. It's actually a really difficult situation in football. That's why I worry about football a lot. It's my favorite sport, and it's the one that I look forward to the most. I'm super happy I'm getting basketball. I'm ecstatic about MLS, and especially the way they're doing the tournament to start it off, because I know that once you get everybody healthy in that bubble, you'll be fine. I'm terrified of the second they leave the bubble, just like everybody else. The NBA is the one that I think it's going to be our saving grace, man, sports-wise, for sure. At least that's the one that gives me the most hope. Because if you're all trapped in the bubble, then you got a shot, man. You got a shot. 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, that's 786-322-1105. Remember, you can also reach out to us on email, orlando@bigoradioshow.com, Twitter, Big O Show. You got the YouTube chat board going on right now. You got the super chat. As always, that puts your question right to the front. You got many ways to participate on the program. We got Bill driving the show. We're coming to you live from Toyota of Hollywood, 1841 North State Road 7. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back with our number 2 right here on the Big O Show.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million, whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
Kind of weird. So there's a lady that's out there, right? And she's by the truck, right? And so she ends up dropping something. And normally, what do? A lady drops something, you assist, you're the gentleman, you grab it, give it back to her, you help her, right? You hold the door, whatever it is. If you do the things that gentlemen do, right? And so she drops something, right? And I look at it and I go, I really want to grab it and give it back to you, but I don't want to touch it now because I can't. I shouldn't. And she goes, I know, right? How weird is it that's how it has to be now? It's just different world, man. Different world. And it's like it's not something I would have ever thought of. I would have just grabbed whatever, little trinket that fell, and I would have handed it to her, and so she doesn't have to bend over and get it. You know what I mean? Just do the thing that any decent human being does, right? And you can't even do that. Even if I had gloves, I wouldn't have done it. You know why? Because whatever my gloves touch, then I have to touch that, and I may get her sick. I don't even want that. You know what I mean? Just that's the burden that we all carry now. Wow. Just weird. It really is. Anyway, 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always, baby. It's a beautiful thing. Just got my car back, which is nice thing to get back. Anyway, so we are out here till I would say about 2:00, something like that. I don't know, although I got a lot of things to talk about, man. It's crazy. All these things that have gone on today over the last 24 hours that I was like, wow, this is pretty amazing to have this kind of material. We talk about, we were just talking about COVID, right? Do you have Jay Monahan, the PGA commissioner, please? Jay Monahan was at the Travelers Championship, and as you know, Koepka and all these other guys have tested positive. And well, it's not Koepka. It might be their caddies and things like that. Either players or caddies are testing positive for COVID, right? And so they've got a few players that are dropping out because of it for the Travelers Championship. So the commissioner was there, and he addressed the issue of dealing with COVID. Go ahead.
I think for us, as we look at where we are now 3 weeks in and on the eve of our first round at the Travelers Championship, I think we all need to remind ourselves that we're all learning to live with this virus, and we all need to learn to live with this virus, both as individuals, as family members, and certainly within our businesses. And it's pretty clear that this virus isn't going anywhere.
Amen to that. And there's so much truth to that statement. And obviously we need to do it responsibly. That's really our problem, okay? It's not that we need to get back, because we all need to get back. We can't be in our homes for, listen, those of you that maybe never work for a living and you don't really need the money, and you've lived like the Jeff Spicoli life your entire life, if you're blessed that you can do that, and you don't need money, all you need is tasty waves and a cool buzz, and you're fine. Well, hey, man, that's good for you. God bless you. Most of us need to work. Most of us need to generate some kind of revenue so we can pay for the things that we need to pay for so we can live and sustain. So he's right, and that is the brutal honesty of what's going on. Because, hey, we got in our homes for a couple months, but then it set a lot of people back. It set a lot of you back financially. It set everybody back, right? Okay, but we did it for a certain amount of time to, bring the curve down, and we did, to our credit. Unfortunately, now it's gone back up again only because people are irresponsible. Okay? Because you're not wearing your mask, you're not maintaining distance, you're doing stupid things, and this is why. When you're Nikola Djokovic, right, or Novak Djokovic, and you're out there with a couple other tennis players and people and partying and openly just avoiding everything, you know what I mean? This is what ends up happening. And so Moynihan is right, okay? We all we got to work. We all got to make a living, man. But we have to do it in a way that's responsible. And that's what most of those golfers, they're not being responsible that are getting sick. The players that are getting sick, you're not being responsible. You're taking chances. And then that's why you put yourself at risk. You will, of course, get sick. And he's right. We have no choice. We have to move forward. We have to get our lives going. We have to find a way to do these things. But the new norm is, hey, let's find a way to do it healthy. You know what I did 2 days ago? I think it was. Was it last night or the night before? I ordered 3 boxes of disposable gloves, like the ones you get at the gas stations. The problem is the gas stations don't have them anymore. And I had like a little stash for myself, and I'm already, I'm running dry. I know my wife doesn't have any. I know my daughter doesn't have any whatsoever. So, and I know that I got to get it for everybody. So I went and I bought 3 boxes. They're like $11. They come with 500 of them, right? Those little plastic gloves. You know what they're for? I just want to put one in each car. You know why? Just so that when they put gas, they can put on one of the gloves, they can put gas, and then they can throw away the glove. And that's it, dude. Because the gas pump is about as disgusting a thing that you can touch in this world, okay? Everybody touches that gas pump. And let me remind you that half the dudes that are grabbing that gas pump were either touching all kinds of other things in their bodies, okay? I mean, seriously. And people are sniffling and this and that, and then they grab that pump. And it is gross. You know what I mean? But this is what we have to do to be responsible. So I said, all right, I'll buy a box each. I'll put it in each car. That way, whenever they go put gas, they have a little bag. Boom. It's in Amazon, by the way. If you want to look for it, it's I think $11.99 or $10.99, and it's 500 of them, 500 pairs. So think about it. It's actually 1,000 times you can put gas because you're only going to use one glove. And they're like the reversible types, So I'm just saying, this is the world we live in. But we've got to do this in order to kind of stay away from this crap. And if we all do it, then we have a way of bringing this whole thing. We had over 800 deaths yesterday. Over 5,000 cases. We had over 800 deaths, 5,000 cases in the state. But we had over 800 deaths in the country yesterday. That's rough, man. John Rouse is in the house. Yes, and he gave us a sticker with a thumbs up. John, make sure you wear that mask, John. Don't listen to those people. I'm telling you, bro. Okay? Go look at nurses and doctors. Okay? They're wearing those masks. I want you to wear that mask, John. You're too good of a dude to not wear a mask. Rosendo says 1.48 million people have filed for the first time unemployment last week. Worse than predicted. Yeah, man. This is, yeah. And if we don't find a way to be more responsible, we will lose more people, and more people will be losing their jobs. We have to find a way of being responsible and coming back from this. That's the only way to do all this. That's how we've got to be able to overcome all of this. And we will. Eventually we'll figure. Sad part is that we're going to have to figure it out the hard way. But I thought Moynihan from the PGA, I thought he nailed it. Unfortunately. We can't be hermits, man. We can't live in our houses for the rest of our lives. Nobody can afford that except a few of the people out there that got enough money in the bank to do something like that. The rest of us, we got to work for a living, man. So we got to find a way to, let's just be responsible about it. All right, 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to me on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always, because that, my friends, is a 24-hour talk show. You can reach out to us on the YouTube chat board, on the Super Chat. Other way to get in. Good morning, Big O, from Bill Ron from Michigan. Locked in and listening. Thank you, Bill and Ron. Is it Bill and Ron or Bill Ron? Is Ron like your last name? But thank you. Out there in Michigan tuning in. RVA in Richmond says, good morning, Big O. Just made a delivery in Richmond. A gentleman just told me the virus, it was fake. I see what you mean. Appreciate you. Yeah, it's you got people that think the virus is fake. You got people that think this is some kind of thing that they want to ruin all our lives. Like every country and every president and every health organization has teamed up to screw everybody over in the world. and put them in their homes and make them lose their jobs and careers and money. It's like, come on, man. You know, it's like the paranoia, right? The people that say, oh, well, you're taking away my constitutional rights. Why? Because you got to wear a mask? Why? Because we asked you to stay home for a month or 2 or 3? Big deal, dude. It's really weird, man. Did you see the lady that went crazy? And sadly, it's a Florida woman, okay? And do we have the crazy-ass Florida woman there, please? Can you pull that up, Bill, please? The crazy-ass Florida woman. Let's hear that. This Florida woman was at a hearing, and she, you said you ran into a person that says this is fake, that the virus is fake. All right, Bill, pull up this woman for me so we can play it. And this woman, if you think that guy or that person that told you the virus is fake, listen to this woman's story as she's going after, I would imagine you could call it the government because it's all people that are elected officials there. And she wants her, a minute and a half of time to talk? Listen to this.
You literally cannot mandate somebody to wear a mask knowing that that mask is killing people. It literally is killing people. And we the people are waking up, and we know what citizen's arrest is because citizen's arrests are already happening, okay? And every single one of you that are obeying the devil's laws are going to be arrested. And you, doctor, are going to be arrested for crimes against humanity. Every single one of you have a smirk behind that little mask, but every single one of you are going to get punished by God. You cannot escape God. You cannot escape God. I'm going to say that again. You cannot escape God, not even with the mask or 6 feet. Okay? 6 feet, like I said before, is military protocol. You're trying to get the people to train them so when the cameras, the 5G comes out, what? They're gonna scan everybody. We gotta get scanned, we gotta get temperatured. The kids have to go to school with masks. Are you insane? Are you crazy? I think all of you should be in a psych ward right the heck now because none of you know what the hell you are all talking about. This is insane. And then you want to open this meeting with a prayer to God. Are you praying to the devil? Because God is not listening to that prayer because all of you are practicing the devil's laws. What happened to Bill Gates? Why is he not in jail? Why is Hillary Clinton not in jail? Why are all of these pedophiles that are demanding you all to listen to their rules? Why are they not in jail? Oh, is it because you're part of them? Are you part of the deep state? Your time has expired. The deep state is going down. And if any of you are in the deep state, you're going down with it.
How about that? How about that? I mean, any crazy bitch can stand up there and just go crazy. Wow. That's the stuff that we have in this country. And they're loud. They're the minority. Remember, I keep telling you guys that most of us are good. Most of us accept most people. It's the people that hate are actually the minority. You know what I mean? It's just a loud voice, but they're the minority. And we got to keep them that way. You know what I mean? Because I think most of us have common sense. I really do. I really feel that. It's just, unfortunately, the idiots get out. It's like NFL teams.
How could that lady
It's like NFL teams. Look, 53 guys, 50 of them are great guys. They are. 51 of them. It's usually 1 or 2 idiots in every locker room. The rest of them are actually really good dudes. I know because I've covered the NFL for 30 years. But who gets all the headlines? The 1 or 2 idiots that are getting in trouble all the time. That's all it is. And it's the same thing here. There aren't that many crazy bitches like this, but they're loud and they're crazy. And that woman took the time to go over there so she can be heard, so she can spew that.
The mask is killing people. That's actually saving people. You couldn't be more stupid, lady. You really actually said that. The mask is killing people.
You're listening to the devil, bro.
Oh, well,
you're following the devil's law.
Well, then let's
I just want you to know that.
Let's get in the river Styx, take a ride, and go.
Hey, you can't escape God. Not 6 feet, not a mask. Not going to save you, bro. I'm telling you, not saving you. You can't escape, Bill. You're trying to escape.
I want to know where this lady
I see
lives.
you're trying to escape. You can't escape.
How big is the boulder that this lady lives under?
By the way,
she hasn't been clued in at all.
So she tells us 6 feet. You can't. Now, is God like Plastic Man? So he's got a 6-foot grab? Is that what it is? I don't know. I didn't understand that one. Can't get away from not 6 feet. What about 16?
The mask.
What about 60?
The mask is killing people. Like, that's the dumbest one of all of
I
them.
saw the mask. The kid, I know he went through a tough time, but he was very nice. He wasn't hurting anybody. I saw the mask years ago with Cher. Kid didn't hurt anybody. I'm telling you, he was really nice. 786-322-1105. Let's go to a little super chat. Cody Douglas giving us the thumbs up. Cody, thank you, sir.
I know that, dude.
Where'd you get this?
Super chats.
Oh, gnarly.
Awesome! Totally awesome!
And we get another super chat in from GusGus1388. Gus, I think, chimes in every day on the super chat. And he sent us a golden super chat. It says, I'm only wearing a mask because the devil told me to. There you go. You know, I mean, the devil told me to. I had to go get one. You know, there you go. So I had to do it. I'm deviling it right now. It's a beautiful thing. I can't wait for January 2021 after the political pandemic is over and we can get back to doing lines at South Beach clubs and getting a little slickum on our hang down. Alex says, God would say to wear your mask because he wouldn't want people to die from it. People are, okay, I can't say the R word. It's not politically correct to say the R word, but I get it. They're dumb, okay, instead of the R word. I got you. COVID is real, but do yourself a favor and take a little time to legitimately look into the 5G and health concerns, okay? You're not into 5G? I can't wait for 6G and maybe 7G. Then it gets even faster. Bill, don't bother trying to rationalize with that bitch. She's obviously a right-winger. I don't think she's right or left. I think she's just crazy, man.
She has no brains. None whatsoever.
All kidding aside, does anyone here know anything about 5G and health concerns that come along with it? I have no idea. I just know 5G is faster than 4G. That's all I know. And then eventually we'll get 6G.
Does it cause cancer faster?
Maybe. You get it that much faster, yeah. You get it at the speed of sound. There are people that don't think the virus is fake, but they think the numbers of cases are exaggerated. Some people believe that our individual liberties are being controlled by fear. Yeah, bro, there's always that paranoia for all of that. But we already had that conversation. The people that tell me, and I go, okay, so it's inflated by what? How many? 1,000? 5, 10, 20, 30? Tell me. How many? You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, so if it's not 120, are you satisfied with 90,000? We'll take away 30. We'll say 30 is a lie, which is not true, but whatever. So are you satisfied with 90? Does that make you feel any better? And that's when they shut up. That's when they have no other answers. You know what I mean? That's kind of what ends up happening. Alex says, I apologize. You're right. I shouldn't say. Yeah, it's a word we gotta kind of stay away from. It's you end up insulting certain people, and if they have kids that are, struggling, then they take it personal, man. They take it personal. Let's see. Tommy in Hialeah says the 5G is idiotic. Throw away your smartphone. So go to Telegraph for smoke signals. All right, let's do this. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. You can chime in on the YouTube chat board, on the super chat, many ways to reach out to us. What did I do with my phone? Leave my phone somewhere? Maybe
Hold on, I'm calling you. Did you leave it in the car?
Yeah.
In the car?
All right. Anyway, I got to take a break.
Guess
Let me go
what?
to the car.
Guess who's leaving the show?
Yeah. Let me go to the car.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with zero down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
are back. We're back. We're back. All righty. Sorry, because when you're getting service and stuff, you got to go back and forth, and so all that good stuff. Did find my phone, so it's all good. Left it in the car.
It's the only thing that mattered.
Yeah.
You lose your phone, man.
Yeah.
It's the equivalent of losing your wallet and your credit cards, your bank, your driver's. But your phone may be worse because all your phones, all your contacts, all your everything.
Yeah. Yes. You lose your phone. It's almost as crippling as it gets when you end up losing your phone. All right, 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to me on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Reach out to us here on the YouTube chat board, on the Super Chat. Many different ways to reach out to us here on the program. The Hall of Fame game has been canceled. Unfortunately, the Pittsburgh Steelers were going to take on the Dallas Cowboys, and this was kind of almost expected because, remember, this is a fifth game. And so now you're adding more of a burden to all of this. And the NFL, this is like their first thing that they've canceled, right? The NFL has been the golden child throughout all of this because they've been able to have their draft. They've been able to have free agency. They're unaffected by this so far because they still haven't started, and they have all these other sports. They're going to be the guinea pigs overall. So now you end up losing the Hall of Fame game. The question is, what's next? Do you have 4 preseason games? Or because of the situation, do you trim that down now to maybe 2 games or something along those lines? Because maybe you want to shorten that so you put less people at risk, and then you can start the season and try to get through the season, which is going to be tough, obviously, because they say, nobody really knows, but they say that because as we go into the winter months that this thing may end up picking up more and it may become a bigger problem for us. We're already seeing the spikes because of irresponsibility. We don't know if the weather is also going to, also assist in all of this. So now the NFL has to cancel the Hall of Fame game, and now we'll see how this affects preseason and everything else moving forward, because obviously this is this is not an important game. Okay, this is more about the Hall of Fame induction, and then remember, the induction ceremony is also being postponed to next year. And this is huge because, as you all know, Hall of Fame players that are going in, they're not going in at the age of 40. Okay? They're not going in at 35, right, when they quit at 30, and they 5 years later they're at, no, usually they're well into their 50s, 60s, 70s, and so on. And so are their teammates, so is their coaches, the people that help them along the way and building their careers, and they're there to celebrate that moment. They're just as old or older. So what are you doing at that point? Now you're putting all kinds of people at risk, and people that are in a demographic that you cannot afford. So it's not just about the game. It's also about the ceremony itself, and maybe, just maybe, the ceremony is really the part that's the killer out of all of them. No pun intended, but it's just the one that the exclamation point is, we can't have our ceremony. There's a lot of older people there. We're going to have them traveling and being here. Yeah, no. And remember, this is a special moment. I don't mean to make light of this because I hate it. And I know that the kids have to deal with it now, but you see the graduations going on now. They're not together, and it's the drive-by, all that. You can't do that for these guys. Kids will recover from this and all, and as much as it sucks, because I got to tell you, the group of individuals that I feel terrible for are those high school seniors that don't really get to really enjoy your senior year in high school in every way possible, with all the events and the parties and all the functions and everything else. I lived it too, and I had a blast. I enjoyed it. I would have hated to have COVID in the middle of my senior year with the amount of fun that I had, which was way too much for 3 years, but whatever. For that year specifically, I feel terrible for them. So you can't do that to these Hall of Famers. We can't have a drive-by Hall of Fame. Okay? Hey, yeah, congrats, and you just drive by. No. We got to give them the induction ceremony, the functions that go on, the dinner the night before, all of that kind of stuff. Everything you got to give them the entire experience. And since you can't provide that experience this year, the game's not that important. What's more important are the inductees and them and those gentlemen getting the honor that they deserve the right way. Okay? That's what matters. And when you see the Hall of Fame game canceled, that's what really, in the end, that's what it's all about, is protecting those men and giving them that moment that they have earned. Really. All right, 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, that's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always, because that, my friends, is a 24-hour talk show there on Twitter. Jay Cutler has got an interesting story going on now. I don't know if I call it interesting. Maybe I'll call it more funny along the way. But Cutler went kind of viral on social media. He, as you all know, he divorced Christian Cavallari, or in the process of it, finally got rid of his whatever reality show wife or whatever. Since he's no longer a big name anymore, she had to move on and try to, I guess, find another one. It is amazing how these guys fall for these kind of chicks. But anyway, so Cutler now is kind of onto his own devices. She was kind of controlling his social media. Now that she's no longer in the picture, Jay Cutler now is controlling his own social media. And Jay Cutler is now kind of a private investigator, too. Well, actually, there's nothing private about it. He's kind of doing it publicly now. So he's on a case right now in his house, at his ranch. He apparently has a chicken killer. He is missing several chickens. They've been killed on his ranch. He doesn't know what's going on. He's trying to get to the bottom of it. So in the process, he posted this video in the middle of his investigation.
Okay, here's the deal. First story. It's a big one. We've got a chicken serial killer on the loose. We've lost quite a few. Tonight we're going to set up a trail camera, see if it's a coyote, bobcat, I don't know, raccoon. Could be anything. Not sure, but enough's enough. These ladies are a little edgy right now, so we've got to figure this out. There is one other possibility. Could be an inside job. Thelma over there, while she looks nice and sweet, is a savage with loose morals. Thelma, hey cat, kitty cat. I hope you don't show up on camera tonight.
Kudos to Bill, by the way, because he actually did some editing there. He did some producing there. He enhanced the meow from the cat when Cutler was calling for the cat. That wasn't like a drop he put in. That was actually Cutler's cat that he called out for. And so the cat threw out a meow, and it was kind of low. So kudos to Bill in enhancing that meow, which kind of added to the whole thing that he's wondering, hey, is that cat, involved in this whole thing? Kind of funny, man. Good stuff by Jay Cutler. He's kind of been known, while he looks like he doesn't care about anything and all that stuff, all the guys that hang around him love him. Okay? They may not love him as a quarterback and as a leader of a whatever, but if you want to go have a beer with the guy and just hang out and BS, all those guys love Jay Cutler that way. It's like that. Every team he's been on, that's how it is. The guys kind of like to hang out with him. Now, when it comes to quarterbacking, they might tell you the right things, but he leaves a little to be desired sometimes when it comes to the effort and really caring about your craft at quarterback. And it's a shame. What a shame, dude, because that guy was talented, man. That guy, he goes down like a Jeff George. That's just kind of what it is. That's what it reminds me of. Jeff George. Super Boom Shack. Wow, he drops a Super Boom again. Thank you, Super Boom Shack. You are amazing. Super chat.
That took guts. We need guts.
I told you I can totally super chat.
So you think you got what it takes?
You have no skills.
This is permanent.
Good job.
I'm promoting you.
You got a lot of problems, don't you?
Take pride in that.
Thank you, Super Boom Shack. That was awesome with the super chat. He says, Live Nation is streaming the recent Depeche film today at 3 p.m. Eastern, one time only. You, sir, are correct on that. You know what? You opened up the door, Super Boom Shack. Let's do a little music news here on the show. Today, Depeche Mode at 3 o'clock on YouTube will air their documentary, Spirits in the Forest. All right, if you want to check it out, go to their YouTube channel at 3 o'clock, and you can catch Depeche Mode. Today at 5 o'clock, Radiohead will stream their 2016 show in Switzerland at the Open Air St. Gallen Theater or Stadium. The Governor's Ball is also streaming some previews sets over the next 2 nights. Listen to this. At 8 o'clock tonight on their YouTube channel, you can catch Travis Scott's performance of 2018. And right after that, Bill, you can catch the Black Keys and their performance from 2015 at the Governor's Ball. At 9 o'clock tonight, iHeartRadio, go to their Facebook and IG pages. They have their COVID-19 Can't Cancel Pride concert. Big Frida, Katy Perry, Kim Petras, and Sia will all be performing. All right, so if you like any of them, you can catch them. Sia is really, really talented. I know you barely ever see her face because her hair's in front, but she's got skills, man. 6 o'clock tonight. This is kind of interesting. Mark and Rodney will play a set for Sugar Ray. All right? Set your love on fly. Set your love on fly. That's it, right? Isn't that Sugar Ray, right? I want to say, all around the world, statues crumble for me. Anyway, so there you go. A little Sugar Ray. This is pretty cool. Not only are they going to play a set, they will answer your questions, some of your questions, not all your questions, I'm sure, and they will take requests. So there you go. I like it. Set your love on fly. If you want to go to that, you go to sugarray.veeps.com/stream/events. There you go. It's $15 for that one, just in case. All the other ones are free, but the Sugar Ray one is $15 if you want to watch, listen, ask questions, make requests, all of that, you got to pay. So if you want to do that, you can do. But that's pretty cool because if you're a Sugar Ray fan, you get the band and you get the Q&A. I think that's actually really, really cool. Also, Tedeschi Trucks Band is on tonight, Thursday, the 25th at 8 o'clock. So if you're into Tedeschi Trucks, Tedeschi Truck Band, you can enjoy them tonight at 8 o'clock. No, I'm sorry. Yes, it is tonight, 25th. I'm sorry, because I have a couple of other ones that I've got to mention. Friday, tomorrow, Texas Hippie Coalition. I'm going to miss it. I hope I can see the replay, but they will be streaming at 1 o'clock tomorrow. So, and listen, Texas Hippie Coalition is one of my favorite bands of the new era bands. They've got like 7 albums out, so they're not like brand new. They're like, I don't know, I want to say like about 15 years old, maybe, something like that. And Texas Hippie Coalition will be on tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Third Eye Blind will be on tomorrow at noon. They'll also do it on Monday and Wednesday, so just in case if you miss it tomorrow at noon. And then Saturday, I know you're going to be tuning in to this, Bill. Saturday, July 4th at 7 o'clock, Belle Biv DeVoe, baby, is going to be streaming. You can't trust a big butt and a smile. So there you go. Those are some of your streams going on over the next 24 hours to a week. How about that? There you go. See what you started, Super Boom Shack? Nice job by you, sir. I was already locked and loaded with that Depeche Mode and all the other stuff just in case. Because, you know, I got to always fill you guys in on some of this stuff because you may not be aware of some of these things going on. I know. I always, like, trip Bill out because he'll go like, what? Really? What? I get to see that? Okay, cool. And for those of us that love music, there you go, man. The only song I jam with Sia is Guts Over Fear by Slim Shady. I like Sia, man. She's talented, man. She's good. Just sent my reminder for Depeche Mode. Nice job by you, Myron. Got to do it, man. What else do we have on the chat board there that is not some kind of a discussion in between you guys? THC are great live. Yes, they are. Super Boom Shack. I've seen them twice live, and they are phenomenal, man. I saw them the first time I ever saw them. They opened up for Fozzy at the Culture Room. I didn't know anything about them. Blew me away. Bought their catalog that night. That night, I got on Amazon and got all their out, which I think it was like 4 or 5 albums at that point. And what's it called? Then I saw them in Rockville 2 years ago and met Big Rich there also 2 years ago. We had Big Rich on the show, I think about 2 years ago. I had him on the show a little bit. I think it was just after Rockville I had Big Rich on the show. I got to get him on again. Now I can get him on without being worried because he likes to, cuss a little bit. Big Rich can let it out a little bit there. I will tell you this. He is probably one of the most entertaining frontmen right now in rock and roll. The things he says on stage will trip you out, I mean, immensely. Okay? Weapon X United. Strong with a super chat. Thank you, Weapon X United. What? Super chat.
No way.
Yes way.
Wow.
No way. Yes way.
They were fantastic.
Super chat. Weapon X United along with Super Boom Shack. Wow. Excellent. Thank you, gentlemen. Weapon X here in Atlanta. Been listening to you for years. You guys deserve so much more. Thank you for your work. Keep us entertained and engaged. Thank you, my friend. That is very, very kind of you, man. That is super nice of you for hooking us up there in a big-time way. Very nice, Weapon X United. All of you, man. John Rouse and Richard McLean and Cody Douglas, Gus 1388, Super Boom Shack, all of you out there on the Super Chat. Thank you so much, man. That is too kind of you all out there for always thinking of us. And helping us along the way as we get through this tough time. 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Tomorrow, 9 to 11, we'll be at Craig Zinn's. Acura Pembroke Pines are celebrating their 12th anniversary, by the way, giving you $750 off if you're a first responder. If you're in the military service also. And by the way, you can take advantage of 2020 models like the ILX is $199, the TLX is also $199, the RDX $299, and the MDX $319. Only $29.99 do-it signing plus tax tag and registration, folks. Make sure you tell them that Big O sent you. We'll see you there tomorrow morning from 9 to 11 a.m. at 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75. And Pines, let's take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side right here on the Big O Show live from Toyota of Hollywood.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with zero down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
Let's go. Let's rock it. We are back. We're back. O needs to start a Patron account, so YouTube takes 30% of Super Chat Patron and has monthly subs for the artist content provider. There we go. A little Patron, all right? Nothing wrong with that, right? A little Patron action. There we go. Thank you, sir. These guys do a great job. They deserve so much more. That you are too much, Weapon X United. All of you out there, man, you're amazing out there. The way you guys support us every single day here on the show. All right, we got a bunch of things to talk about still on the show, which is absolutely crazy. I'll give you one that's kind of juicy. Paul George, he was on Quentin Richardson's podcast. And it's called the Knuckleheads with Quentin Richardson and Darius Miles podcast. So Paul George dropped like, Super Boom Shack is there. Well, he dropped a super boom. Super Boom Shack drops several super booms in the super chat every once in a while here on the show. Paul George kind of dropped his own super boom when he was asked about what happened in Indiana and how it came about that he got traded and sent off to Oklahoma City, right? And it's worked out, actually, for the Pacers to a certain extent because they got Oladipo and he kind of became a star, and Sabonis and Miles and all that. So they have several players on that team that are pretty good, and they've done a nice job. And I know Oladipo's still trying to come back from that injury, and if he can, help out the team this year. If not, they'll get Oladipo back next year, and then now you got him at full strength, and you got your guy. But Paul George was telling the story. Now, this is not a 30-second soundbite. This is a couple minutes here, but it's really good. I mean, it's really juicy. Okay, Paul George drops all kinds of nuggets here on how he ended up in Oklahoma City and why. Now, look, I know that it's one side of the story because the general managers never really tell you the other side and all of that, so we can only go by what Paul George says. Now, when you listen to him describe everything that went on prior to, it almost kind of sounds that everything he's saying is pretty legit, and it makes sense why it led to what it led. And that's the parting of ways of Paul George and the Indiana Pacers. All right, Bill, do me a favor. Play that Paul George cut. It's a juicy one. Listen to this, okay? Go for it.
Gee, this is what people want to know right here. It was just a bunch of events that played out. Like, I always wanted to come home and play in L.A., but when I was in Indy, my goal was to win one there. And I never wanted to leave Indy. Like, regardless of what I said, once everything rolled out, at that point, it was like, man, I want to get to LA. Like, fuck everything going on. I want to get to LA. But when I first got to Indy, I wanted to stay there. Like, I grew up on Kobe. So Kobe stayed in LA. That was where his home was. That's how I felt guys should look at it. Right. So after things started to play out, I watched Danny get hurt, Danny struggling, and they just shipped Danny off, knowing Danny was at a critical point in his career where he needed Indy. Like, he needed to be with people he knew to get back healthy. And I saw them just ship him away. So that kind of played a part on me. Then I remember, like, one morning I wake up and I see G Hill's traded. And I don't like front office people, like the front office stuff. I'm not that dude that, like, I got to be in decisions. I got to be like, if y'all going to do something, just let me know. Like, I'm cool with anything. That's not my position to be like, in the front office combo. Just let me know. That's all I ask. Just let me know. So when I see G Hill got traded that morning, I'm hot about it. Like, I call my agent, like, yo, they gonna do this and not tell me? Like, what is they own? So that happened. Then I'm hearing my name is in trade rumors. My name is in trade talks. And this is my last year there, that all-star year. My name is in trade talks. So I had my agent and the front office, I had them go and meet me in, I think it was New Orleans that All-Star weekend. So we could sit down and we could talk. Like, if I'm being traded, let's talk about this. Like, the president and the GM meet me in which is Larry and Herb Simon. They meet me in New Orleans to talk about my name being in the trade deadlines, and Kevin Pritchard. And they like, nah, we would never trade you. You're not movable. Like, you this, you that. You are a star. You are a future. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like, this is where I want to be. So that's fine. Then, trade deadline is before All-Star Weekend is over with.
Right.
So after All-Star Weekend, I'm feeling good. I had this convo with him. Then, again, I hear my name in the trade talks again. My agent come to me like, yo, these teams are inquiring for you, and the Pacers are talking. Like, they're just, hearing other teams out. So I'm like, we just had this convo, and they still looking to make trades. So that didn't sit well with me. But I know it's a business at the same time. I'm not naive to after that convo. Now, all of that goes on. After that year is over with, I came out publicly like, I want to be here. I want to be here. Like, this is where I want to be. So now it's that summer, and I do this baseball, softball league or softball charity game every year, every summer in Indiana. So I go back to Indy. I do the softball game. They ask me again, like, what do you want to do? You want to be here? I'm like, yeah, I want to be here. This is where I want to be. So I had a phone call with them that night. And mind you, while I'm there, you know how it goes. Cash like, yo, I want to play with you. D Miles, I would love to come here and play with y'all. Like, I ain't going to say the names because I'm going to keep their business private. I'm going to just say it like this. I had, at the time, the best power forward saying he wanted to come to Indy and team up with me. They like, we're mid-major. We're a small market. Like, we can't do it. We're a small market. We can't afford that. I'm like, the best power forward wants to come play here. Like, y'all can't make that work. They didn't want to do it. So I'm like, now I'm pissed because it's like, what am I doing here? You know what I mean? Like, they don't want to win. I got the best power forward that want to come play here. Like, not everybody choose Indy to come play at. This dude wanted to come play here. They didn't want to do it. So fast forward back to after that softball charity game, they call me up. They like, hey, and again, I'm going to leave the names out. But now this person that they talking about is maybe top 20 power forwards, top 25 power forwards. They put him up like, hey, how do you feel about this person? This other person that they was going to sign in free agency was a dude coming off injury. So I didn't feel comfortable about that. After that phone call, I'm like, they don't get it. I called my agent like, man, get me up out of here. They don't want to win. So that's how everything kind of transpired to sum the whole thing up. That's basically how that whole thing went about, and I got up out of Indiana.
That, of course, is the story. And now you look, Paul George, and Danny Granger, by the way, because somebody was asking, it's Danny Granger and George Hill also that they traded. So Granger was traded before, and obviously traded to Miami, right? That was part of, hey, LeBron, we have Danny Granger for you and trying to re-sign. And then he sees George Hill go. And so his point was, and Granger was, Granger had given his all to that team. And then he was kind of, at the end of his career, and he was dealing with that knee stuff. And so what he's talking about is that he's at the end of his career. He gave you his all, and then now this is the way you're getting rid of him. And then he saw George Hill go, and then now, and then he said, hey, you don't want to acquire. And it's Anthony Davis, by the way, is the name. The Brow supposedly is the guy that wanted to go and join him in Indiana. And it makes a lot of sense because I know he went to Los Angeles and all that good stuff, but he's kind of a low-key guy, and he easily would have been happy in Indiana with Paul George playing there. Now, when the team is telling you we're small market and we can't do it, that's sad. That's sad because it's set up in a way that you should be able to do something like that. Were you not willing to give up what you had to give up? Maybe. Then again, maybe New Orleans was asking for something that was completely just unrealistic, and they couldn't meet that. That it might have been, like Denver and the Knicks, where Melo ended up getting traded, but they traded so much for Melo that by the time he got to New York, there was nothing left because they gave up everything to get Melo. So it was. Maybe that's what the Pacers felt like. We're going to give up the world, and we're not going to have anything left over. Now, again, you talk about George and Anthony Davis, that would be one hell of a 1-2 punch. And it's interesting that years later, they both end up on the same city but on different teams. One ends up on the Clippers, the other one ends up on the Lakers now. So they're both there. And I'm sure that they've been in town and they've probably had that conversation already. Like, we could have played together years ago if it wasn't for the damn Pacers not wanting to spend. And it's interesting because teams like the Pacers and Utah, we always hear that they've got to be exceptional at drafting, which is true, and developing because they're not going to be sexy destinations for free agency. Well, Paul George, if this is true, Paul George created an avenue for you to become sexy. I mean, years ago, Indiana was a marquee team. When they had the Davis boys and they had Reggie Miller and Rick Smits, and that was a marquee team, man. That was a championship caliber team if it wasn't for some guy named Michael Jordan. Because Michael screwed everybody. He screwed the Pacers. He screwed the Heat. He screwed the Knicks. He screwed the Cavs. He screwed the Jazz. I mean, there were several pretty damn good teams that you were like, man, those teams might have made some stink here and might have won a title or gotten to one if it wasn't for that guy getting in their way. And so you had that opportunity. Now, again, we're hearing only one side of the story. Maybe Anthony Davis could never be had or any of that. I don't know. None of us really know. But it's always interesting to hear some of these behind-the-scenes stories about some of these drastic changes that teams do. And to Indy's credit, man, I know Oladipo got injured, but they did a nice job of transition. Okay, drafting Miles, drafting Sabonis, and acquiring Oladipo. That Oladipo move, that was I think, was Sabonis a draft? No, I think Sabonis was also acquired in that same trade, right? I think it was Sabonis and Oladipo, right? I think that's how it was. But either way, however it is, they either drafted him or acquired him. But my point is, Indy's done a phenomenal job of turning over their rosters over the years and staying relevant and being a good team in this league for a long time. And considering if it's true that you can't really spend, then, considering all of that, you've done an exceptional job, I got to say. And Myron, I think you were asking, I am wearing a Greta Van Fleet shirt, by the way. This is one of my many Greta Van Fleet shirts. So there you go. If you were wondering what kind of shirt this is, because it is kind of it's a funky shirt. There's no doubt. It's not the normal shirt that you would. It's not really a concert shirt. It's actually just a rock shirt that I purchased. I didn't purchase this at any kind of Greta concert. Been to several Greta concerts, but this is not the kind of shirt that they sell usually at these kind of concerts. Tremolio says, the Pacers are loaded. I live in Indy for 4 years. Pacers Arena was always sold out. Yes and no. When they, in between the Paul George years and the end of all that other stuff with Reggie, they went through a run where I know because I go every year to Indy, and I've gone. What was the name of that number 55 that they had, the deadbeat center that they had from UConn? What was that guy's name? You remember? I'm brain farting now. But those teams, right after the Malice in the Palace, they went, exactly is what it was. After Malice in the Palace, they went on a run for a few years where they had trouble with all kinds of guys that they drafted that were getting arrested and in trouble, or they were terrible, like number 55, because I remember his number, and I'm pretty sure he went to UConn, and he was just a deadbeat. I forgot the – come on, man. Somebody tell me the center's shirt. The center's the name. That was a deadbeat for the Pacers. But during that time, they were not sold out all the time. There were a lot of empty seats during that time. They weren't very good. They were an embarrassment to the city. The Williams kid was getting arrested. They had several guys that just, it was a funk. It was something like, it was one of those things that, unfortunately for Larry Bird, it wasn't his finest moments over those years. It was like a 3, 4, 5 year run where they weren't packing it in. I know because I even went to some of those games. I can't remember the dude, man. Thank you for the compliments on the shirt. Oh, damn it. I can't remember his name now. Hibbert, that's it. Not Robert, it's Roy. Roy Hibbert. You are correct, sir. You got the R. You got the R and the O. You just needed a Y instead of the Hibbert. I mean the Bert part. It's Roy Hibbert. I remember him. That's it. Roy Hibbert. And that deadbeat was during that time, the arena was not packed. It was not sold out. They started to stay away from it because remember they're in the Midwest and they don't want to see their team constantly getting arrested. And that was one of the runs that unfortunately they had for a couple years that it was just Bird made a couple bad decisions, didn't have the right people on those teams, and they just brought a lot of bad PR to the Pacers. But overall, it usually is pretty packed. You are correct. And the other thing, I always tell people this, and you can back me up on this, Tremolio, since you live there. That is one of the best arenas to go to a game. And historically, I was looking forward to taking this schmuck over to the Combine this year. We'll take him next year. Because if you ever go to a Pacers game, okay, listen to me now. Maybe you want to go see the Heat and the Pacers one day, and you travel up to Indy. Go right when the arena opens that day. You know, if the game's a 7:30 game and they open at 5:30, whatever it is, 2 hours, hour and a half before, go before. And then I want you to take a walk on each level all the way around because it's a basketball museum. And it's awesome. It's got all kinds of killer memorabilia. You'll learn some stuff. You'll see stuff you'll never see again because unless you go back there again. So it's actually really, really cool historically. Okay, it's built like a classic field house with the light coming in and all that. But the concourse on both levels has all kinds of great memorabilia that is just awesome pieces of NBA history, man. So that I would tell you to go do that. Rosendo, Paul George's girlfriend, Daniela Rajic, is pretty hot. Yeah, isn't she Latin? I want to say she's Latin. She's the stripper, right? She was the one that was working at Tootsie's, and he got her pregnant, I want to say. Maybe I got the wrong strip club. Maybe it was another strip club, but I'm pretty sure she's a Miami stripper, and he got her pregnant. And I think she's Latin. I want to say. Super Boom Shack. I was thinking of Tyler Hansborough. Psycho Hansborough. Yeah, from UNC. Also got to give the Thunder credit from losing Harden, Durant, and Westbrook and Ibaka to the year they had in 2019-20 would make the playoffs if not for COVID-19. Yeah, no, well, Presti, remember, Presti's a good GM, man. Okay? Let's see. So glad to hear sports talk. I'm so sick of the fake media teaching the youngsters generation racism. Hey, man, unfortunately, it's part of the game right now. It's in the news, you know? So if people are talking about some of the issues, I don't blame them. We do it too. I think Hibbert was Georgetown. Jesse, you are 1,000% right. It is Georgetown. I am wrong, not UConn. But it's kind of the same uniform, so I kind of got confused. The gray and the white and the blue, they kind of have those same colors.
Yeah, I want to hear you say that to Alonzo Mourning.
Yeah, exactly. So you're right. It is Georgetown that the deadbeat played on. You are correct. I am wrong on that one.
Before the Canes got their basketball program, obviously going back to 9th grade, 8th grade for me, Georgetown was my team. Dude, UConn, Georgetown together, that's like putting Boston and the Yankees.
No, but the uniform, they have that gray look that is kind of the same.
I understand what I'm saying to you.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with it. I'm just thinking big doofus in a gray uniform. And I thought UConn and whatever. It was Georgetown. It's Roy Hibbert, bro. Who cares? Georgetown Georgetown doesn't even want to claim him, bro.
I know.
What are you talking about? It's like Canadians trying to claim Bieber. They don't want him.
I understand your point, but just understand
Miamians, we don't want Canseco.
Anybody from Georgetown or UConn is like,
right.
How can you confuse us?
It's all right. They're glad I confused them. They're glad I said he was from UConn. Trust me. That's like somebody saying, Canseco, he's Puerto Rican. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's they can have him. I'm telling you, it's the same thing.
You understand my point, though.
I understand your point.
Confusing like Yankees and Red Sox.
I understand your point, but you're not understanding mine. There are
Oil
some
and
people they'll give away.
Oil and water, bro.
They just don't want them. Something tells me that in Georgetown, they're not claiming Roy Hibbert. Now, would they claim Mutombo and Alonzo Mourning and company?
Ewing,
Allen
Ewing, Iverson.
Yeah, they're going to claim
Reggie Wingate.
They'll claim Orlando Graham before they claim Roy Hibbert.
Oh, Graham was
a badass.
He looked like he just got out of the penitentiary.
He's an enforcer.
Yeah, he looked like he just got out of prison. That guy looked nasty, bro. He looked mean.
Super Boom Shack says, Canseco hit ground balls to me and my cousin in the 80s. There you go. Before the Needles? Yeah, I've just got to ask. I used to see Canseco at Parallel Bar, and he was like this. When he was a high school player in Coral Park, high school player, I'd see him at Parallel Bars. I know because I was in high school too, and at Parallel Bars. And so you would see him walk around. Oh, yeah, because, you follow back then you follow high school sports. You know what I mean? So, and then you see him in the majors, and he's – but he was like this, dude, in Coral Park. All right, 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always. Let's do this. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back for the final half hour as we take you till 2 o'clock. Coming to you live from 1841 North State Road 7, baby. It is Toyota of Hollywood.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
All righty, we back. And we take you here till 2 o'clock, headed down the home stretch. If you want to get in, you can chime in there on the YouTube chat board, on the Super Chat. Many ways to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can reach out to us also on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Dougie Fresh says, here at the Vegan Strip Club and Oil Change in Pensacola, I have one conspiracy theory and one question. One conspiracy theory. Bill comes into the frame from time to time. I've noticed his hairdo. Is this a protective 5G hair helmet, or is he trying out for the lead in the play Jesus Christ Superstar? Jesus Christ Superstar.
Wanting to get a haircut, number one. Number two.
That's a classic, by the way.
Coronavirus, no haircuts. And
That's
going
right.
to go ahead and grow the locks. And, because I got badass hair.
Yeah, it's true, actually. He does have badass hair, and he's going to let it out long now. And I the key is, will his employer have a problem with it? That's the key.
Tell me now.
No. Your hair's not long enough. The question is, it's been said, if somebody shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Who do you think the Jets would say Adam Gase is now? I love it. I love it, Dougie Fresh. You are correct. You are correct. How do you feel about Che Guevara? I personally don't see how people walk around with this guy. Neither do I, but what do you want me? I'm not going to wear a Che Guevara shirt and call him a revolutionary and hero. To me, he was a murderer and assassin. Dude killed women, children, yes. He was on the hit list, kind of like the whole Christopher Columbus thing. I can't see. I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. It's crazy that you would wear the guy's shirt. You know, only Kaepernick would do it. Big O, where do you rank Robert Parrish, the former Celtic? Okay, let's put it this way. Because it's one of those things that Parrish is not a superstar center, but man, he was so damn good. It's like one of those deals, right? I don't look at him like I look at Shaq and Kareem. He's not in that Bill Russell class. He's not considered those kind of centers. You know what I'm saying? But he's the tier under that. He's the guy you definitely can build around for a championship, as proven. He's a guy that could be a leader on your team, as proven. He's a winner, proven. You know what I mean? So it's one of those guys that you love to have on your team. And after what he did to Bill Laimbeer, I mean, I'm not a Celtic fan, but man, I got to be a Robert Parrish fan after that. Forearms. That was just awesome. Right on the face. Right here. Gang. And for you youngins out there, if you haven't seen Robert Parrish just pounding Bill Laimbeer, go ahead and look it up on YouTube. Parrish versus Laimbeer, or Parrish hits Laimbeer, or whatever, it'll come up on YouTube. Trust me. So I love Robert Parrish, man. He's just one of those awesome players that he's just that notch under the great ones and the superstars. He's like an all-star is what
During
he is.
his day,
Right.
he was one of the premier centers in the league.
Right.
Top 3, 4. He was a perennial all-star.
Right.
But
He's just
when
like
you
right
go
under
all-time,
like Ewing. He's like right under the Ewings. He's right under the Olajuwons. He's right under, there's a superstar and then
Kareem.
there's the really good ones. And then he's that guy.
Wilt Chamberlain.
Right. He's not those guys.
Russell,
he's that stage under.
7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, he's the stage
10,
under.
11.
He's that level under. That's all. He's one notch down.
But
That's
during
all.
his day,
Right.
he was
Right.
as good as any center out there.
Yeah, dude. I love Robert Parrish, bro. Obviously, if my Heat is playing against him, I hate Robert Parrish at that moment. But as a player, as a professional, I admire that guy. Love Robert Parrish. Yeah, you definitely not. And now again, not today's kind of center, because today's a whole different kind of NBA. But in the NBA that he played, he was a hell of a player, man. Hell of a player. Definitely. I've seen it. Bad Boys is one of my favorite ESPN's 30 for 30. Oh yeah, no, that was a great one. I'm with you there. Myron says, I'm going to watch the Depeche Mode film on my TV with my speakers on and a few beers. That's the way to watch it, Myron. Hell yeah, man. It's a beautiful thing. I got to watch it too. That's going to be a lot of fun. Big O, do you think Tyler Hero will become a great player like Bam? He's only 19 or 20, getting significant minutes already. What do you think? Go Heat. Richard, I don't know about – I'm not ready to say that Bam's going to be a great player yet. Bam could be an all-star type player. Like, look, Jimmy Butler's not a great player. Jimmy Butler is Robert Parrish. He's that notch right under. So I'm not sure yet if Bam is superstar, great player yet, or really good player, all-star type. Tyler, I'll tell you this, he's got the moxie to be great. Okay? That I can tell you. That is the obvious there. He's got the moxie to be great. Outside of that, I'm not ready to call him great, but there's no doubt that he'll be a great shooter in this league. The next level will be the handle, getting your own shot, and I know he can clutch shoot, but now it's improving his defense because I can't call you great if you're just an offensive player. You know, you got to be able to contribute in other ways. You got to make other people better. Whether you're assisting, you got to help defend. You got to be at least a team defender. You don't have to be an exceptional, like Dwayne Wade was never really a great one-on-one defender. He's a decent one-on-one defender. He was a great team defender. So there's a difference. So I got to see Tyler's game grow in other areas where Bam has. But Bam still, his offensive game still needs to take that next step. He's really good to all-star type player right now. Will he become great? Not ready yet. But Tyler, I tell you this, the moxie is there to be great.
Wade,
no doubt.
Small guard, probably one of the best block your shot guy. Wade,
that's team defense.
Nasty, bro.
Team defense.
He's a beast.
He wasn't blocking your shot as a one-on-one. He was coming
that guy would
side.
Sneak up and come across the court and like from nowhere.
Team defense.
Block behind you.
Yeah, because you can never call Wade a great one-on-one defender. He was never that.
No, he wasn't Joe Dumars.
No.
Or the glove.
No, not even close.
But if he was anywhere near the basket.
No, team
you
defender.
were going up, bro.
No, he's a Hall of Fame team defender. That's what I mean. So we need to see him, both guys. You know, if Bam's got to take one more step to become great. He's fine where he's at right now. Where he's at. What he's developed into is phenomenal, dude. He's an all-star player. But Tyler, it's still young. We still got to see more, and he got injured. But there's no doubt that he's got the goods to be it, man. He can be that guy. Whether he is or not, we'll see. Super V says Rick Smits, who played for Indiana, was highly talented. I guess you can rank him in the Parrish category. I would put him a notch under Parrish. I love Rick Smits. I think the Flying Dutchman was pretty good. It's a pretty good center overall. But Parrish had some cojones that I don't think you see from Rick Smits. That's all I'm saying. So I like Rick Smits. I think he's a solid player, man. But I would put him just a notch under Parrish. Parrish is pretty damn good, dude. Parrish is a perennial all-star type player. You know?
He was definitely that old school center that this area is mine, and you're not coming in here, and I'm going to beat the crap out of you if you know, that Lambeer right in that same kind of area.
Yeah.
Just not as dirty, except when it came to Lambeer.
Jay, you said you put Robert Parrish in the same category with Nate Thurman, Bill Walton, and Wes Unseld. I might put Bill Walton ahead of him. Bill Walton pre-injury, Parrish was never that, dude. Never that. I mean, Parrish. Walton was dynamic, man. Like, he's one of those centers that if he wanted to average 10 assists, he could. You know what I mean? I actually would put Walton was a great center, man. Great center.
In college, one of the greatest.
No, Portland. I mean,
college.
Before the injuries. In Portland, he was great.
But I'm saying specifically just
college.
College.
No,
He's one of the greatest college players of all time.
Yeah.
You take it to the pros, obviously the injuries undermine him.
I don't look at Parrish. I don't look at Walton in the Celtic years.
No, he was playing 10 or 12 minutes and giving you quality, but he could only play.
The guy in Portland, oh my Lord. I could go back and look at those stats that he did in Portland. I bet you they're just sick, man. And the things he did.
That was Dr. Jack, right?
Yes.
I don't think he wins that championship if Walton isn't what Walton was.
No,
right?
man, Walton's,
without a doubt.
Yes. Walton, for me, Walton was special, man. He just, unfortunately, the injuries, but I think he was actually, I love the group you put together there, Jay. I'd take Walton out, and because I think Walton was better than all those guys. Walton, to me, is as good as any of the other guys that we talked about before. He's that guy. It's just that he got injured, and he didn't end up having, the full career that he was supposed to have. But stats-wise, man, I want to pull up his stats because I can tell you for sure that his stats were just absolutely sick, man. He put on one hell of a career. Where's his Portland stats? Here we go. In 77, he averaged 18 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists, a steal, and 2.5 blocks per game. I don't think Parrish did anything like that. The year before, it was 18 and 14, 16 and 13, 12 and 12. Those at that time he was a monster. The problem is it was just short-lived. That's the thing. You add his college career and then the first part of Portland and then you add the injury started after that, and it just wasn't the same guy anymore, unfortunately. But he was
his injury
special, man. Special
issues. Probably
ankles.
Overuse, over.
Well,
you know what I mean.
You know what? I'm not smart enough to know exactly, but you think about the time where medicine was in those days, and if you had those type of injuries,
and your starters would play 40, 44.
And those ankles were fused, bro. By the end, it just. The fact that he still walks is a miracle.
No, dude. It ended up being in his knees, his lower back. Like, it just, like.
He travels with a special chair.
I'm not surprised, man.
He travels with a chair that goes with him,
sure.
and he has to sit in that chair.
And considering the kind of guy he is, I bet he burns a lot of green for pain.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. Unfortunately. But I'm sure he's got a nice insurance deal going on with the NBA and everything, so he should be covered, and he's making really good money still as an announcer because he still is, when you see him on the air, you stop because you're like, okay, what's Walton going to say now? That's what you're waiting for with Bill Walton.
He's a little too much the Pac-10, the Pac-10.
Well, he's
Pac-12.
He's always been a West Coast guy,
know,
but that's his deal.
It's just
don't blame the guy. He's a West Coast guy. You're an East Coast guy. He's a West Coast guy.
Take a dose of reality there, buddy.
He's a West Coast guy, man. It's all good. Richard says Zoe would have been a Hall of Fame player if not for his unfortunate illness. I think Zoe's a Hall of Famer already, man. I think I got no problem Zoe in the Hall of Fame, dude. So, it's that to me is an automatic anyway, the way I look at Zoe. Let's see, what else do we have? Bill was right. Walton was great in college, but career went down as a pro annually. Yeah. It's Portland and then after. No, you're right. But his talent in Portland is something that those other guys you talked about, they were never that guy, is my point. that Walton was super special in Portland. He was the terror he was at UCLA. He was in Portland. But then after the injury started mounting and he was just never – the numbers, you see it. They drastically went down as time went on because he just wasn't – his body didn't hold up, unfortunately.
He could never – he never had that speed step.
No.
That you could just see it.
From
he
Portland,
he
lost it.
But you could just see that he was a shell. He was not anything.
Ankles, dude.
He was. No, dude, yeah.
And he was an explosive
You would know all
7-footer.
about ankles with your high ankle sprains.
And dude, he was an explosive 7-footer at
that's what I'm
UCLA
saying.
in Portland.
Dude,
like he was Tom Chambers like,
he moved the way Rodman could go up and down and look like he was moving twice as fast
like
as
a
everybody
deer,
else.
yes.
Walton moving around the basket,
flying,
and being over here and then being on the other side throwing a layup off the glass.
Yeah.
It was like, how did he go from in front of the basket to, like
Yeah. He was a hell of a player back in his day, man. No doubt about that. All right, 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always. A couple of notes. Did you guys see this semi-pro soccer team? It's coached by Bruce Arena. They eliminated the national anthem. Did you see that? Now, some people are thinking maybe it's because of the kneeling. Well, there's always been something wrong with the national anthem, right? There's a third paragraph that none of us ever sing. None of us ever talk about. And that third paragraph has some hateful statements, right? So this soccer club that's coached by Bruce Arenas, the National Premier Soccer League, the Tulsa Athletic, announced on Wednesday its decision to eliminate the Star-Spangled Banner from the pregame activities at home, saying they will play This Land Is Your Land from Woody Guthrie instead. After careful reviewing the Star-Spangled Banner's lyrics and meaning, including the third verse, which mentions no refuge could save the hireling and slave from the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave, Tulsa Athletic came to the decision that the song does not align with the club's core values. While this verse is rarely sung, Tulsa Athletics does not believe the Star-Spangled Banner represents or unites their diverse players, fans, and community. We believe This Land Is Your Land not only captures a powerful patriotic sentiment, but this also does it in a more far inclusive way. The co-owner, Sonny D'Alessandro, says it speaks to this country being built and shared by every person of every race, ethnicity, religion, and sexual orientation. It represents a future Tulsa Athletics is committed to striving. Okay? Now, everybody knows now, Team USA soccer coach Bruce Arena saying that playing of the national anthem before games is inappropriate. He goes, think about it. In Major League Soccer, most of the players that are standing on the field during the national anthem are international players. They're not even Americans. So for whatever reasons, they are right about the Star-Spangled Banner. And in the end, the funny part is we're the ones that have been ignorant for hundreds of years. Seriously. Think about it. Because you know what's in that third verse, yet we've sung it. And we keep singing it. And we live by it. And it's really not what it is to be an American. What it is to be an American is have people from all over the world come here, build this country up, and we're supposed to be accepting of everybody. You know what I mean? And so when your past is ugly, you don't celebrate it. You know what I mean? And I get this one. And if you know the words to This Land Is Your Land, I know young people now, you don't learn any of these songs. You don't know it's a grand old flag, it's a high flying flag, and forever in peace may you wait. You don't learn any of these songs anymore. Okay, we had to learn them. You know, because that was just reading and writing arithmetic, talk to the toot of a hickory stick, all that kind of stuff. We learned all that stuff. We know all these songs. You guys don't, you know, the younger generations, they don't. It's way past. But if you know this land is your land, it's probably more accepting of everybody. They're right. They're right. And I know that the conspiracy theorists, and maybe they might be right this time, most of the time they're completely wrong, but maybe they do want to avoid the kneeling and all that stuff, or maybe they just want to do the right thing, that it does have a hateful message. So why keep airing something that really doesn't represent what you want as your core values? I got to tell you, it's ballsy to do it, and it's something that could be coming more down the line with other teams and organizations, that when you start to look at what you're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish, we can't keep taking steps back. It's like the Marge Schott Stadium. Like, you knew who that woman was, okay? And you still went after she died, and you knew the hateful bitch that she was, and you go name a stadium after her? A woman that hates Jews, a woman that hates blacks, a woman that is homophobic? You're going to name a stadium after her? And then you'll just keep it there for decades. And then now you're shamed into taking it down. I don't get it. And it's like NASCAR. We're shaming them into taking down the Confederate flag. We're shaming the state of Mississippi into taking down the Confederate flag. Like, you didn't know it yourself? You know, like, you know what it stands for. So why haven't you taken it down? Well, now people are shamed into all of this now. It's not that they've seen the light. It's that they've been shamed into it now. And you know what? We're shaming ourselves too, because we've been singing the national anthem, and you know, whether it's the anthem or, you know, certain things that we use as symbols, that's not what an American is. That's just a symbol we use. Okay? We are the ones that make this country. Okay? Our laws, our freedoms, that's how you describe who we are. The Star Spangled Banner doesn't describe who we are. The flag doesn't describe who we are. Those are just symbols we use. You know what I mean? Our country is known for accepting of people all over. It's a country that was built by immigrants from all over the world. It's a country that's known to help other countries. Okay? That's what we've been known as. We're also hated in other places too, but that's a whole other conversation.
You know what? This is like the selective hearing thing.
Right.
The selective singing of choruses.
Yes.
And these we won't, but these we will.
Right. And even though they tell you that deep down inside, hey, do you know what really the Star Spangled Banner is all about? Do you know about that third verse? Because a lot of people don't know about the third verse. And then when they learn the third verse, they're like, really? And then they don't do anything about it, because we never do anything about all this stuff. Now we're finally moving our butts and doing something. Let's see. That wasn't very nice, but I'll move on from it. Okay, that's something else. I guess you guys are arguing with each other again. The national anthem was adopted in 1932 by Congress. The revisionist is erasing our history. Soon they will take out God Bless America. There you go. Let's see. What else do we have here? I don't think anything else was questions or anything like that. Looks like a bunch of conversations for you all there on the program. Let's see what we got here. See if we got anything new on the accidentlawfirm.com text line to get to. Also, remember, you can reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always. Let's see. Some of you are already getting your Tua jerseys. I see Derek Sibley sent me a picture on Twitter about his Tua jersey. I'm jealous. I haven't got my Tua jersey yet. I need my damn Tua jersey.
What is that, Turkey Day you're supposed to get it?
Who knows when I'm going to get it, bro. Maybe they'll send it sooner than
You said November, right?
Yeah, I think they said no. I think I remember correctly. It said November, and I like freaked out. I was like, wow, dude. Halfway through the season is when I'm going to get my Tua jersey. Well, the good thing is that maybe I'll get my Tua jersey right before they start him. That might be, that might be cool. Maybe I get it the week he starts. Maybe that's what happens. You never know.
I hope that you're wrong, and we got to continue to play Fitz because we're battling for playoff, baby.
Okay.
If Tua's going in,
that's the only way.
That means that we're not winning.
Right.
Right.
Yes. You're right. Because if they're winning. You can't bench Fitz. You're right. Right. It would be stupid to do that. And Flores not going to. Flores proved last year that he's going to do whatever it takes to win a game.
Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah,
he's trying to win every game. So you're on target.
He's not loyalty to a player. There's loyalty to the W.
Yeah, Bill has a great point there because as Dolphin fans, if you start Fitz, what are we going to do? Hope for Fitz to lose? You don't do that as a Dolphin fan. I didn't do that last year. I thought they would lose other games, but it was I was going to sit there rooting against them.
I want to turn the league upside down and on their head and take over and win the AFC East and be like, wow, we all thought Buffalo and New England.
Yeah. And
the Dolphins really are here.
Yeah, and it's crazy, but for Fitz himself would be satisfying because it's not like he does that a lot in his career. It's not like he's Mr. Playoffs. He's Mr. Turnover more than anything else. And so he was pretty damn good for us last year overall, considering it's Fitz. And if Miami has a good enough defense and line and running game and he can stay away from the mistakes, Bill is right that if you start Fitz and he's playing well and, like halfway through the season, you're alive for a playoff spot, there's no way you're benching Fitz.
Let's see the game in the fourth when we're up by 2 or 3 touchdowns. And you know what?
And it gives him time. It gives him time to heal too. Anyways, I told you guys he's got to play in the second half of the season after you have a year at least of healthy.
And obviously somewhere in there we want Rosen to be like have a game and he's 20 of 24 and 300 yards and 4 touchdowns.
That would be nice.
Do you know what? Let Rosen do enough like Mitchell did.
Mm-hmm.
Coming in when Marino went down, you know what I mean? And Detroit, paid him what, $16 million at the time, right?
Yeah. James Sumler is asking me, James, I did not see your super chat. Thank you, James. I did not see that. Thank you, my man. I just went back. That you must have brought it up like when I was on a break and it went through and I didn't see it. James Sumler, super chat. What? Super chat.
No way.
Yes way. No way. Yes way.
They were fantastic.
Super chat. Thank you, James. I appreciate you, my man. That was nice of you. I did not notice it. I must have been like, on a bathroom break or something or going to get my car or something or wash my hands. It says, thank you, Big O and Bill. Love listening to you guys about sports, politics, even though I wish the Dolphins were playing. We all do, man.
You know what you were doing?
Do. Very nice, James. Thank you for the super chat, man.
You were scratching your ass and winding your watch.
There we go.
Or you could reverse that. Winding
both.
And then scratching your watch.
I am multi-talented in that sense. I can do that. I can do those things.
Is your car all set, man?
Yeah, bro. Don't you see it right there? It's all there.
I want to see this light in the back because the shot you showed me of what was to come.
Right. It's cool. It even looks good in the daytime. I turned on the headlights to see, and it
jumps out to you like, hey,
it lit up.
Look at me.
Yeah. So I would imagine that during the day it's going to be. I mean, during a night it's going to, obviously, because if you can see it brightly in the day, it's pretty cool. So I've been doing like little things, adding little things to the car and all that, little things that it needed, and then some things just to add a little spiciness. Did Shaq ever lead the league in rebounds? He was a great player because of his physical stature. That is That is, period. How can you argue at this point? No, Shaq was amazing. Shaq was never a guy that was a leader on defense. Not in shot blocks and not in rebounds. I don't believe he ever led the league in either category. And he was, I'll say, I've always said this about Shaq. He underachieved on the defensive side of the ball. He could have been much better on defense, and he chose not to. Could have been a better shot blocker. He chose not to.
A little too slow. He got a little too fast.
Well, later
right?
on, but early in
but
his
you know
career,
what I mean.
He was electric, bro.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It was a short.
He still wasn't.
By the time he was out of Orlando, but he
still had a lot of athleticism early in the Lakers, and then he got fat after that. You're right. But yeah, Shaq to me was a guy. Hall of Famer, one of the greatest of all time. That's not even up for discussion. I'm just saying, he's so talented that I think he could have been much better defensively than what he was, and he was solid defensively. But I don't call him great defensively.
I look at Shaq as size, not speed, and to play defense, you have to have some element of speed in basketball to be effective. You know what I mean? This isn't per se football, totally. Back in the day, obviously, it was more physical, you know what I'm saying? But he's more of a big body, long arm, you know what I mean? And his size was more dominant than his speed.
Yeah.
And that's why he wasn't so dominating on the defensive end like he probably could have been.
13.9, 13.2, 11.4, 11, 12.5, 11.4, 10.7, 13.6, 12.7, 10.7, 11.1, 11.5, 10.4, 9.2, 7.4, 7. All right, but after that he got older. Those are his rebounds. His blocks per game, first year, 3.5, then 2.9, 2.4, 2.1, 2.9, 2.4, 1.7, 3.0, 2.8, 2.0, 2.4, 2.5, 2.3. He was good, but he wasn't dominant. He just wasn't the force that he could have been in this game defensively. Solid, but because he's so big, it was easy for him to get those numbers. He didn't really go out of his way to make it extraordinary. Because, you look at those numbers, right? And then I'm going to put Alonzo Mourning, who gave up 80 pounds and about, 2 inches? 3? What was Shaq, 7'1" or 7'2"? And I want to say Zoe is somewhere in the 6'10" range, right?
Zoe, I think, would be listed at 6'11". But
I don't think
probably,
I think he's a 6'10" guy.
That was one of those, back in the day.
Yeah.
Not true measurement.
Right. Exactly. And look at Zoe, 3.5, 3.1, 2.9, 2.7, 2.9, 2.2, 3.9, 3.7, 2.4, 2.5, 2.3, and he's not nearly as big as this guy. That's why, to me, Zoe was an overachiever and Shaq was an underachiever defensively.
Well, Shaq
because Zoe was undersized. Every time in his day, all the guys he faced were bigger than him. Olajuwon was bigger. David Robinson was bigger. Patrick Ewing was bigger. Shaq was bigger. Every center he faced pretty much was bigger than him.
It was like Cycli, man. Cycli was an undersized.
No, Cycli was bigger than him.
Well, bigger than Zoe, but I'm saying
taller.
Cycli,
he was 7-footer.
But Cycli was still not.
Okay, but still, Cycli was bigger than Zoe, bro.
Yeah, that's hard to believe.
No, I'm telling you.
You know what I mean?
I've been next to both the guys.
Right.
Cycli was bigger than Zoe.
Zoe was a hustler, man.
Right.
Shaq was a big, wide body. I'm here.
Shaq blocked and got his rebounds that he was supposed to get because he's that size. But he did not go over what he should have. Like Zoe. Like I said, Zoe overachieved defensively and Shaq underachieved defensively. That's the way I look at it. That's kind of the way. Again, no shot on Shaq. Like, he doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame. No, that crap. No. Guy's a first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the greatest of all time.
Was
I'm
Shaq
just saying
the hustler?
he could have been. No, he's not a hustler.
Was he the hustler that Zoe was?
No,
right?
Not even close.
Right?
Not even close. He lost his hustle game early on in his Laker career. He lost his hustle game. And then he kind of like rode out on the talent. You know what I mean? Like Michael Jordan is really an overachiever. And think about it. You're not supposed to dominate at his size the way he dominated the damn league. You know? But that's because the drive, Zoe, Michael, there are certain guys. Wade had it. There are certain, LeBron has it. There are certain guys that are just wired differently. And Kobe had it too, actually. You know, he wasn't an efficient shooter, but he played like a freaking maniac. And he played like a maniac on the defensive side of the court. You know what I mean? And that's because certain there's always those players that they know they're so good that they easily can glide on their talent. And if they actually put a little extra effort, then things get completely out of control.
Let me add to that. Jordan played in a more physical.
Oh, yeah. Not even close.
And think about his size. No hand checking today. What would Jordan do to teams today?
Oh. And
no hand check,
not only that,
the physicality of the game.
Not only that, knowing Jordan, he would have improved his three-point shot
Also,
for this game.
You had to play man-to-man. Now you could play.
Right, because Jordan will hit the three when you have to hit it. He wasn't a three-point shooter per se.
No, but
you know
whatever
what I mean?
shot he had to make,
he would make it.
If it was the
Right.
last 5 minutes of the game.
But see, we all know, anybody that watched Jordan, he's such a maniac that he would have become a good three-point shooter in this NBA. Because he would have worked his ass off to become a
there
great
wouldn't have been
three-point
anybody
shooter.
better.
Right.
He probably would have been the best three-point shooter.
Yeah, he's that guy that would make it happen because his will was second to none. And that's when I compare the will of Alonzo Mourning and the will of Shaquille O'Neal. Put it this way. Shaquille gets a kidney ailment, he retires. That's it. End of conversation. Alonzo Mourning gets a kidney ailment and says, how do I continue? Shaq says, I'm done. Count my money. Want it. I'm done. I'm good. Different.
Let's go make a movie.
Michael Jordan breaks his foot and says, no. At that time, no, I'm coming back within the season. Which in those days to do that was, again, but when you're wired that way, you will get those kind of results. But when you know that your gifts from the good Lord are so good and you can cruise just on your gifts, and you'll do it. Some guys will do that. Some guys will say, no. I've been given those gifts, but I'm going to take it to another level. That's where those certain guys are wired that way. All right, let's give some love to the super chatters today who came in strong today. Richard McLean stepping up. John Rouse in the house. Cody Douglas. Gus 1388. Super Boom Shack. Weapon X United. And James Sumler all coming strong on the super chat. Thank you all out there. Thanks.
Wow.
Recent research has shown
Super chat.
makes no sense.
Yeah, you're getting focused on all the wrong sort of details here. You need to forget about all the normal rules that apply in society.
Wasted no time. Super chat. I thought it was really, 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 really cool.
You should all be very proud of yourself.
I have no response.
Super chat.
That was perfect.
It was. Absolutely perfect. Thank you all out there for always supporting us here on the program. I thank you all. We're on the chat board. We thank, of course, everybody that's tuned in. Those of you downloading, thank you as always. Major audience downloading, even without sports. It's amazing how the thousands and thousands of downloads every single day. We are incredibly blessed. We can't thank you enough for all of that. Steve Ostrov, all the great people out here, Herbie Lopez, all the fantastic people out here taking care of us at Toyota of Hollywood. Tomorrow, remember, we double dip tomorrow, 9 to 11 in the morning. We're at Craig's Inn Acura. Then from 1 to 4, we're at Hialeah Park, and we'll be back at the Flamingo Lounge. All right, so come on out. We got the whole lounge to ourselves. The entire dance floor is ours because they don't allow dancing right now, right? So we've got the whole dance floor. We got the bar next to us. So if you need anything to drink, there's a restaurant right across. It's a Junior's Bistro. You can check it out. So come on by, say hi at either Craig's Inn Acura in Pembroke Pines or at Hialeah Park tomorrow. Bill and Philippe, as always, getting it done, audio and video. Michael Mata chiming in right at the end here with a super chat. Thank you, Michael. That's strong. Big O, I tagged you on a video of a group of ladies, of Karens, stealing Black Lives Matter signs. When you get a chance, check it out. Yeah, those Karens, man. Those Karens are all over. Now, what you're not doing now is naming your daughter Karen. Okay, now the kids that are being born now, all the girls being born, none of them are getting the name Karen with what's going on, okay? Because obviously that's not a good thing. Tommy Italian 305 for life chiming in with a little super chat saying, keep it up. What do you want me to stay on? You guys are keeping me on here with the super chat.
I know that, dude.
Where'd you get this?
Super chats.
Oh, gnarly.
Awesome! Totally awesome!
You people are amazing,
Okay,
man.
who's next in keeping O on the air?
You guys are amazing with the super chatting here at the end. That's kind of become like a little tradition that when I'm signing
Don't
off,
leave.
it's like
Don't leave.
Super chat,
Stay
super chat.
where you are.
You guys are awesome, man.
Keep your ass in the seat.
Julie's-
Keep the mic turned on and go.
Julie's 305 drops in another super chat now. Thank you. He goes, let me sneak in too. You guys are amazing, man. Thank you so much. As always. Super chat.
No way.
Yes way. No way. Yes way.
They were fantastic.
Super chat. I can't say enough.
All right,
man.
who's next?
You
Come
guys-
on.
You guys are
I could go
amazing.
back and forth. I could go from the first column to the second. I could just do the side. We could here. Look.
Gus goes, the show is not over, people. Don't let O go. Keep super chatting. All right, folks. You guys be good out there. Thanks to all of you out there. We'll see you tomorrow, 9 to 11 in the morning, and then 1 to 4. We got 5 hours of rocking and rolling, some great guests, and a bunch of good sports talk. We'll see you tomorrow. Y'all be good out there, and please be safe.
So
Wear it.
tomorrow, yes, stay safe, please.
Wear it.
Y'all have a good night.